Hello everyone. So as a sort of forward to the video that you're about to watch, I had intended to release this video on March 15th when the Eras Tour Taylor's version would have been coming out. Let's just say I didn't know the scope of this video was going to get quite so big, as I was creating this from text to video, and once I realized that the recordings for the first few parts were taking an hour each, this was going to take way longer than I had originally intended. But because of this, because I accepted that it was going to be taking longer, I have made sure that all of the editing and stuff is up to the expectation that I would want to set for myself. So I've not skipped any corners or anything like that in terms of editing by my own personal standard. But I also want to say that there are things that I say in this, like Taylor's album that's coming out next month, which by now is coming out this month. And I just wanted everyone to know that going into this video that, yeah, this video took way longer than I was anticipating. As you can see, the runtime is insane for me. Thank you so much for, first of all, clicking on this video and for having an interest in this topic. This has been my most favorite project that I have ever worked on, which is also why it took so long, because I was just enjoying the process. I really hope that you enjoy this one. Thank you so much for your patience. Thank you so much for your understanding. And I hope that you enjoy this video. With the Eras Tour movie releasing on streaming platforms, I thought that it might be a good time for us to revisit some of Taylor Swift's past tours and see how it all compares to the Eras Tour. Prior to the Eras Tour being announced, I was a weekly watcher, honestly, of the Reputation Stadium tour video on Netflix, which has sadly been removed. Why? That's my comfort. She made it just for me. The stadium tour made me really appreciate the album, and the Eras Tour was the first of all of her tours that I actually got to see live in person. I was incredibly interested to now, after seeing the Eras Tour, go back into her catalogue to see what the Fearless Tour, the Speak Now Tour, the Red Tour, and the 1989 tour all looked like. I've seen clips and videos of all of these tours, but I've never actually seen any of them in the entirety, in the way that God intended. I thought that we should go through it all together. In this video, I'm going to be watching every single one of the tours, giving you my notes, giving you my thinky thoughts about all the different things about the tour, giving you my opinions on the set list, opinions on the opener, all of these kinds of things, general vibe, and I guess how she's progressed from the beginning to now the end so far, the Eras Tour. So yeah, if this sounds like something that is interesting to you, please come along with me, come on this journey with me, especially if you never saw these tours and you've always wanted to have a little deep dive. I think this video is going to be just for you. Welcome to the Fearless Tour. She doesn't actually say that. Welcome. We're out here because Melbourne is going through a heat wave, so I haven't been able to do every part in my office. So I am dressed inspired by the Fearless Tour. I don't have anything gold, pretty much. I'm not a gold girly. I am a silver girly, and thank God one of the dresses that she wears is silver, although it's a bit more extravagant than this, but this is what you got to work with. Okay. The Fearless Tour toured from April 23rd, 2009 to July 10th, 2010. There were 118 shows, 1,200,000 attendees, and it grossed 66,500,000, and if converted to 2024, that would be 89,241,721 Not bad for your first tour. And the set list: You Belong With Me, Our Song, Tell Me Why, Teardrops on My Guitar, Fearless, Forever and Always, Hey Stephen, 15, Tim McGraw, White Horse, Love Story, The Way I Loved You, You're Not Sorry. Why do I say it like that? Sorry? You're Not Sorry. Mashup with What Goes Around Comes Around, the Justin Timberlake song. Picture to Burn and Change, with 2 encore songs, I'm Only Me When I'm With You and Should Have Said No. Just a couple of notes regarding the set list. Change was removed from the set list on October 1st of 2019. Today Was a Fairy Tale replaced I'm Only Me When I'm With You for the 2010 shows. So before watching this, I really like this set list. I think it's got a good mix of both Fearless songs and debut songs. The encore songs were what particularly interested me. Seeing Should Have Said No live is all that I can ask for, really. So just imagine the whole crowd screaming Should Have Said No. Oh, that would just be the best feeling. It would be so hype finishing off the show. Notably, from the original album, we're missing Breathe, which is understandable because I guess there was a feature on it. We're also missing Untouchable, Come In With The Rain, Superstar, and The Other Side of the Door, which were all on the deluxe album. So again, that's understandable. Sad to lose Untouchable though. Would it have been too hard to add to the set? I don't know, but I am sad because I really love that song. Anyway, let's get into the tour. So the show that I watched was in Houston, Texas, which was a very fun show to watch. You Belong With Me being the intro song is so fun. And the way that she brought up out of the stage in her little band uniform, oh my gosh, she's so cute. And the twang that she has while she's singing. You belong with me. Sometimes I miss these days because it's just so cute. The video behind her while she was singing this was absolutely giving nothing though. The band uniform looked super big on her. I know that she isn't shy from doing a tearaway costume, so alarm bells were ringing as soon as I saw how big this costume was on her because she's very slight. It was restricting her movement a bit in this song. She was kind of just standing still for the majority of it though, so I guess I understand. But underneath the band uniform is this iconic black and white tassel dress, which is what I'm replicating. Hey, hey girl. It really was the moment, let me tell you. It was super iconic. It's everything. I kind of wish that we had something similar to this in the Eras tour because that was it. That was everything. Super early costume change also. It literally in the first song, so making quite the impression. The next song up is our song. So fun straight away to go from a Fearless song straight into a debut song. Our song being one of my most beloved songs. One of the songs that I wanted for my surprise songs in the Eras tour. Yeah, big fan. Seeing Paul and Amos here was so heartwarming, knowing that they've been here from the start and are still with her now. Isn't that just incredible? The chorus where she lets everyone sing. First of all, brave. Like, I know that she was pretty famous by this tour, which is the whole reason they were able to do it, but brave to be touring an album that this song doesn't feature on and have the crowd all sing it. Like, the song was popular, don't get me wrong, I understand. But for your first tour, to try something like that out, brave little chooky. And I love that about it. That's one of my favorite things about her, actually. She's just a brave little girl. Getting to appreciate all these things now that I am better versed in my Taylor Swift universe knowledge, all these things now are just so fun to see. I don't know too much about touring bands normally, but knowing her band and knowing that they've been there for that long and toured with her for that long, that's really, really special. So seeing kind of the first tour that they went on as an official concert tour, so special. Teardrops on my guitar. Oh yeah, we're still in debut era. Oh yeah, we're gonna milk it a little bit. The library stage, gagged. I was gagged. I loved it. It was so cute. This is Taylor Swift's move in every song. She does one of, how do I do it without looking indecent? She does one of these. Okay, I've not done it. I've not done it justice. The camera's a little too close and I'm self-conscious about everything about myself. But she really does that move. In this tour specifically, that's her favorite move ever and she will never stop doing it. I love the drums in this live version of the song. It really elevates the song. It really picks up the beat. I love the song normally, but it's very fun to tour live, giving it a little bit more life. And hearing this song actually got me super excited about debut TV, which hopefully is coming soon. I'm not begging too hard for it. Taylor, take your time, obviously. But it made me really excited for it. So that's so fun. I'm getting more and more excited about it every day. As if you watched my ranking of every Taylor Swift song to find out my favorite album, debut didn't do too well. Neither did Fearless, to be completely fair. I will need to do that again at some point, especially now. I have way more of appreciation for those albums, but yeah. But I'm excited about it now, so I'm just trying to set the record a little bit straight. Next song up, we have Fearless, the start of the spinning and stomping with the guitar. The twang was back in this song. The twang was so back. It's so heartwarming to see how excited the crowd is for this song as well. It's the same now. It's fun to see that it's not changed. She's also so cute kissing the crowd. I can't. She's so cute on stage. And there was nothing better than Houston, Texas now, capture it. I'm just gonna go pass out. Is that okay? I'm just gonna go over there and I'm gonna go pass out now. And the fearless heart. I would do the fearless heart here if I didn't have to get down on my knees and do it. You know what? Commit. Hell yeah, brother. Immaculate vibes for Fearless. I was very excited about this. Forever and Always is the next song, and it's also our next costume change. Red dress on a red couch. I love this red dress. It's everything to me. So sparkly and beautiful. Interesting vocals for this song. She doesn't really throw her voice for the high notes. She kind of hides them away singing. If you understand me, when you're singing, you can either like really throw it to get that note out and kind of keep it consistent, or you can bring the power down to hide if you're wavering on those high notes. I know I've done that in choir, but I noticed that, yeah, she wasn't throwing her voice. I don't know if there was a reason for that. Maybe she was scared that she might crack on the high note, and it was just better for consistency of performance to dampen the sound. So no throwing the voice, but there was throwing the couch. I wasn't expecting that. I've since found a meme of her doing this, which is amazing now that I've seen the context. The head banging and the slapping is literally so funny in this song. There's so many memeable moments. Back up, baby, back up. Back up, baby, back up. I'm having a blast watching this. I can't tell you enough. I'm having just such a blast. Hey Stephen, she just appears in the crowd. She's on the stairs, just appearing in the crowd. She could not, first of all, not do this now, that's for sure. I couldn't believe it when I saw it. I was like, Taylor! Oh my God. Also in a new dress. Beautiful. If she was to do this now, she'd be crushed by the crowd for sure, but she's having so much fun with this song. It's so clear, a little goof and a gaff, and she's having a great time. I just love it. The energy is immaculate. Next up we have 15, where she's sitting in the crowd on a little circle stage. This song is so cute, just on guitar. It feels very intimate. This part of the show felt really intimate. Like it's just her and a crowd of 100 maybe. Like that's kind of the vibe it was giving, even though she had thousands in this room. I loved her mouthing, "I love you," after sitting next to Abigail. Oh, it's so cute. I'm gonna cry. She's really playing with her curls here. Headbanging, letting them bounce around. I feel ya. When my hair's super, super curly, this is my natural hair, by the way. If you can't tell, this rat's nest, that's my natural. Yeah, when my hair's super curly, I'm doing the same thing. I'm watching those girls bounce. Tim McGraw is up next, still at the circle platform. This song is so special. Don't look at me not knowing. I will never forget the intro of this song now, from my embarrassment from not knowing it in a pinch when I was stressed out in that video where I had to guess them in 5 seconds. But I love how she introduces this song.
And I would love it if you would sing along with this song, because this is the first song that you ever heard from me.
It's a really special moment. It, again, feels really intimate with the crowd. The twang is so back.
When you think Tim McGraw, I hope you think my favorite song.
We're so back. And halfway through the song, she's cruising on back to the main stage. Again, I don't know how she was doing this, even back then. It doesn't feel safe. Listen, I've been to many concerts. I've seen artists just go flying around in the audience before, but it just seems crazy to have Taylor Swift of all people doing this. Next up, we have White Horse. This was maybe the weakest performance for stage presence. It kind of was giving high school talent show, so that's something to think about. Not a huge deal. This is the only one that really felt like that for me, so you know, take that with a grain of salt. Next up, we have the moment that I've been waiting for, Love Story. Yeah, the castle design set, amazing. I love it. It was so creative and so fun. I love the beautiful red, like Renaissance medieval dress that she has on for this. I know that she had a few different dresses for Love Story over across the whole tour, but the red dress is really nice on her. She's always good in red. I've always said this. The dancers are everywhere. This is the most full the stage has looked the whole show. I actually couldn't believe how many people were on the stage for this. All of the band was out as well. She also pronounces waiting super differently here, and it's completely throwing me off every time. But she's just glimmering. She's just shining, shimmering, splendid in this. Her energy is so beautiful. You can just tell she made this song and this song was made for her. She was made to be put on this earth to give us this song and this performance. The costume change also in the middle of it, I was not expecting it. I've seen clips of this performance and I still didn't know that this happened. So wedding dress, perfect. It was beautiful. It made sense. The storytelling as well for all of this was really good, I thought. Like, this is something that I'm going to bring up later in the rest of the kind of recaps of all the shows. The storytelling that Taylor and her dancers and her crew all do is really, really, really good. But yes, I lost my mind. I tingled everywhere for the transition of the costume change. Get me out of here. The Way I Loved You is next with Grant Mickelson's guitar solo in the beginning. That was wild. I don't think I've seen Grant. Okay, we've definitely seen Grant in the Speak Now tour, but I'm just trying to think. I don't know if in the later tours we see Grant. Is he still touring with her? But yes, obviously the solo in the beginning, giving us some time to do another costume change. She is costume changing out of her butt. Like this, she's on it with these costume changes. It's a gorgeous sparkly dress. I can't even begin to tell you how pretty she looks in this purple dress. It's everything because she's got like golden hair and the purple, it just looks perfect. It's very Speak Now. Someone was like, girl, you look really good in purple. You should make a whole album that's purple. So again, with the storytelling, she walks out with a prom date. It's so cute just how she goes through the lyrics. It's like explaining how, you know, yeah, this guy's, he's really good. And like, but he's nothing like it was when I was with you. Grant is that's the way I loved you, the you of this song. It's just so cute. And the way that she like sings to him and like they play the characters together. It's so fun. And her hugging him at the end, I want to cry. It was so cute. I can't get over it. This whole tour is so cute. And then we have You're Not Sorry mashup with What Goes Around Comes Around. She's at the back of the stage on the piano. She's on an elevated platform. The headbanging is back on. Taylor Swift might have invented headbanging. She is giving the most. The addition of What Goes Around Comes Around was definitely wild. To me, it threw me off a little bit. I'm not sure why it was included, especially given that the whole of the album wasn't on this tour, so it's not like she didn't have other songs that she could have included. So I understand thematically why those songs go together, but I'm not sure why she featured another artist's song. Like, she didn't need to pad the set list too much. She had 2 albums to play with, so yeah. It was still fun, I'll give that to her, but it was random, and I wasn't sure about it, you know. Next up, we have Picture to Ban. On the floor of the stage, there's flames everywhere. The back of the stage is all screens filled with flames. It was such a vibe. This song, she was really making the most of the stage. It was just fun watching her run around, take up as much space as she could. It was good. She's singing to as many people as she can. The Fireball. Watch me strike out bad. Next up, we have Change, which, like I said in the beginning, didn't last the whole tour. Her twang, again, is well and truly back. Every time we're just blessed with it. If anyone ever wonders why whenever I am mimicking Taylor's kind of earlier albums, why I do so much twang, it's because of this. It's because I see this and I go, I'd like to do that. Thank you. That seems really fun. That's a mouthfeel I would enjoy, I feel. I'm Only Me When I'm With You, featuring Kelly Pickler and Gloriana. This was really fun. The first song back from the encore, new outfit, of course. She's wearing this really cute black dress, but it is so of the time. I watched the performance with Kelly Pickler and Gloriana. I don't know how often they came on. Obviously, they would have been there just for the shows that they were the guests of, but they were really fun. And then finally, Should Have Said No. She's so cheeky how she introduces this song.
This song is about choices. See, now in life there are good choices, and then there are bad choices. This is a song that I wrote about a guy who made the choice to cheat on me and probably shouldn't have, because I write songs.
She's got so much sass in this performance. I love it so much. It's everything that I wanted from hearing it done live. I love her use of an electric guitar with this instead of the acoustic guitar that we've kind of seen her playing with throughout the show. Also, she just throws it away. It's almost like sexy the way that she performs this song, which is at odds with the kind of cute and innocent way that she's portrayed most of her songs up until this point. And then the rain. Imagine being in the first like rows of the audience and then just getting splattered with the rain. Oh my God. And the end of the show ends with a curtain drop. So I guess that she can leave safely after all the water is just dumped on her, Nickelodeon slime style. It's very theatrical and it still fits. It doesn't feel like we didn't know how to end the show, so just drop the curtain. So we had 6 costume changes in this show, which is a lot for your first tour. A lot of them were partially like removable throughout the show. So it's kind of like she came on in 2 outfits rather than like actually changing outfits in the middle of songs and stuff like that. And one thing that I noted about the stage presence is that she's so dorky. Lovingly. I say that so lovingly. It's really cute. You can tell she's really earnestly speaking with the crowd. She's nervous. You can really see her character shining through when she speaks with the audience, which is so nice. Now I wrote some little fun facts. The fun facts are though only fun for me. So if you don't care, just skip to the next one. For her first tour, she toured in 5 Australian cities, which is a huge deal in Australia because for the majority of shows, especially smaller shows, artists tend to only go to Melbourne and Sydney and then Brisbane if Brisbane's lucky enough. You don't see them in Perth very often. You don't see them in Adelaide. You never see them in Tasmania. You never see them in Darwin. Or Canberra. Sorry, Canberra. I completely forgot that you were around. Yeah, so it's majority Melbourne, Sydney, sometimes Brisbane. She performed in both Perth and Adelaide, as well as Brisbane, Sydney, and Melbourne. Yeah, I just can't believe it went to Adelaide. It makes sense that it performed in Adelaide because at this point her star power in Australia wasn't as huge. So Adelaide has a venue big enough to house her. I come from Adelaide, for those who don't know, so I can dunk on it a little bit. Okay, I'm not trying to be mean. This is my most beloved city. You leave me and Adelaide alone. We know how to joke with one another. But yeah, so it's really exciting that she was touring in Adelaide. That's literally so crazy. Our biggest gripe as Adelaideans is nothing ever comes here. And that's why everyone thinks it's a, retirement village, grandma town, because nothing happens here. But Taylor Swift performed there. So the fact that she went there is a huge deal. All the Australian shows were sold out. No surprise, really. But yes, no wonder she keeps coming back. We keep selling out of shows. So yeah, that's my fun facts. I really enjoyed this tour. I thought it was really fun and very special for her first tour. I will catch you all in the next one. Welcome to the Speak Now tour.
Welcome to the Speak Now World Tour.
Today, my outfit is inspired by the Wonderstruck perfume. This is the outfit that I wore to the Eras tour. And I also have a friendship bracelet skirt that I wore on top of this. And you can see a photo here. Speak Now is my favorite album of the minute. I keep saying of the minute because I don't think I can commit to it being my favorite album. I think Folklore will forever be my favorite album. Of the minute, it's Speak Now. The Speak Now World Tour went from February 9th, 2011 to March 18th, 2012. There were 110 shows, 1,640,000 attendees, and 123,700,000 gross. And in 2024, that would be 157,677,605 $605. Nice. The set list for the Speak Now tour included Sparks Fly, Mine, Story of Us, Our Song, Mean, Back to December, which contains elements of Apologize and You're Not Sorry, Better Than Revenge, Speak Now, Fearless, and I'm Yours, as well as elements of Hey Soul Sister. Okay. Last Kiss, A Surprise Song, You Belong With Me, Dear John, Enchanted, Haunted, Long Live, and then for the encore, 15 and Love Story. During the Asian and European legs, Mean, Our Song, and Haunted were not performed due to a stage reduction. And during the shows in Australia, Safe and Sound was performed during the encore, starting with Sparks Fly. Hot. I'm obsessed. The whole first section of the set list is something that dreams are made of. As this is my current favorite album that isn't Folklore, This is the tour that I was most looking forward to watching. Obviously, Folklore never got a tour. We got that in the Eras tour instead. So this is kind of the next best thing for me as a fan. The mashups in this, interesting / concerning to me. Apologize, I'm Yours, Hey Soul Sister. Hey Soul Sister, what are we doing? We've also got a surprise song here, which I'm excited to see. So I also know that this is the tour that she was writing lyrics down her arm. I remember reading a whole article ahead of the Eras tour in case I wanted to decide to do that as well for my shows. What was interesting to me was all the song lyrics were for other artists' music. I'd always assumed that it was her own lyrics that she was writing on her arms, but no, it's all other people's music. So yeah, that's really interesting. Fun tidbit. If you'd like to go through that website and have a look at all of the things that she wrote on her arm, I'll leave that link down below for all of you. So the show that I am watching is the Chicago show.
Well, hello, Chicago, Illinois!
I actually really love the intro of this tour. It kind of feels a little bit Eras to me, and maybe that's just because this album is like my bias at the moment, but I think it's so fun the way that she speaks to the crowd.
Real life is a funny thing. I think most of us fear reaching the end of our life and looking back, regretting the moments we didn't speak up. When we didn't say I love you, we should have said I'm sorry. So there's a time for silence, and there's a time for waiting your turn. But if you know how you feel and you so clearly know what you need to say, you'll know it. I don't think you should wait. I think you should speak now.
It's just so cute. Oh my god. Starting with Sparks Fly. She has so much confidence in this tour. Like, going from Fearless to Speak Now, the levels of confidence in her performance is like night and day, honestly. She's already grown so much as an artist in such a short time. The set is just beautiful. My breath was taken away when I saw the set. It is like if you put the aesthetics of Wonderstruck out onto a stage and made yourself baby-sized so that you could live in all of the charms on the Wonderstruck perfume. The most unhinged thing I've said in this video, probably. And sparklers! Oh my god! The sparks, they do be flying! Next up, we have Mine. The aesthetics for this tour are just so up my speed. I will not be able to say that enough during this section of the video for sure. I love the graphics on the back. They really complement the songs well, which was something that I noted kind of lacked in the Fearless tour. It kind of looked like they were the vibe, but they kind of also were like quickly put together, whereas this one, they are really on theme for Speak Now. This performance actually made me kind of emotional, and I know that if I had been there, I would be crying watching this for sure. The Mine Heart like Fearless. Next up, we have Story of Us. She's so confident. Her stage presence is so much better than Fearless. It's definitely not giving even an ounce of school talent show. The Birdcage stage. Can I have a moment for the Birdcage stage? I know that at this time, me in my Tumblr era, I was wearing t-shirts with little birds and bird cages. I was playing Bioshock Infinite, the Birdcage and the Bird. This whole aesthetic was literally exactly what I would have wanted at this time. I'm so pissed off with myself that I wasn't a bigger fan, because if I had gone and seen this, this would have changed my whole life. This whole song was so pretty. And all I can think is, can we just bring this aesthetic back? Can this become popular again? Because I'm begging to bring this back. Also, people jumped up from under the stage. It's so crazy. This whole performance has been so crazy. I also love how up until this point, all the love songs, she pairs herself with Grant. They must have had a really good relationship while they were touring and stuff like that, because their chemistry between the two of them is really cute and nice, and it's just wholesome and it feels comfortable. Next up, we have our song. Set change, mean set, the segment setting up this, the lighting up the stage, it's so cute. Taylor jumping from beneath the stage, I can't contain my excitement. I also gotta know how they skip around the stage and play the violin. That's what magic is. When comparing this performance of our song on the Fearless tour to the Speak Now tour, the twang is noticeably less pronounced. Let's all have a minute of silence for the lack of twang. Next up, we have Mean. You with your words like knives. Don't get me started. Ugh. The crowd was absolutely screaming the lyrics to this song. Me, if I was there.
You guys are really, really loud.
It was so exciting to watch. The stage is so full in this. Obviously, they've got the whole band, like in the Mean music video, performing in that kind of little stage that they've set up. There's also a bunch of dancers that are filling the stage. It's like Love Story on the Fearless tour. It's just packed. Next up, we have Back to December, which has elements of Apologize and You're Not Sorry. Set change, costume change, absolutely stunning visuals with the snow falling, just like the music video. The dress is gorgeous. The white piano. I love that she's front and center with the piano at the front of the stage, which is different to how she was on the Fearless tour, where she kind of felt a little bit hidden. I really loved hearing this version of the song really stripped back and emotional. The meaning of Apologize makes sense with Back to December, and the transition between that song and Apologize, it sounded good, but it also threw me because that song is like so of that time. Like that song was thrashed at that time and now no one plays it. I understand the vision. Personally, for me, I didn't like it. If your chain is on your door, I understand. And that it's too late to apologize. It's too late. Next up, we have Better Than Revenge. Oh my god. So iconic having the phone call at the beginning.
Hey, it's me. Leave a message, make it hot.
Now go stand in the corner and think about what you did.
And oh my god, it's another costume change. This girl is getting in and out of outfits. Also, I'm so used to hearing the new lyrics now that when I heard the old lyrics, I was like, Taylor. But she has so much fun with this song. She's really sassy and she's really giving it. It has just such a good energy. And after Better Than Revenge, what could go better next to this than Speak Now? Church organ. We know what time it is. Pews out. Little tea dresses. Costume change into the iconic Speak Now purple dress. Also, can someone please help me understand why Taylor wears white Mickey Mouse Michael Jackson gloves? I'd never noticed that before, and now seeing it I'm like, what? I love the storytelling in this song. It's so fun. You can tell everyone's having fun. The bride and groom, like the bride trying to talk to the groom and the groom like keeping on turning his head. It's giving Love Island, you know. She runs through the crowd in this one. Again, stressing me out. I really can't believe that she used to do this. But the next stage is literally the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. It is this gorgeous golden light up twinkling little tree circle stage. It's so beautiful. And she pulls out a ukulele. And I'm like, where's she going? It's too late to apologize, Taylor. You said it yourself. So the next songs that she plays are Fearless with I'm Yours and hints of Hey Soul Sister. Fearless on the ukulele. It's so cute. There's something about a ukulele energy that is just giving silly goofy time, and the way that she talks to the audience, very endearing. Initially I kind of rejected the idea of this performance with the mashups, but then I imagined being there and I would have thought that this was so cute. The ukulele I would have thought was iconic, especially at that time. The ukulele was having a moment. Tumblr, everyone remembers. And the mashup with Hey Soul Sister really works. I don't hate this mashup at all. And I'm Yours, obviously. I don't hate this at all. I think that it sounds really good. Both of those two songs were made for the ukulele. Fearless and ukulele, I guess I understand. Next up on the tree, we have Last Kiss. There's this like astrology account that I follow on Instagram, and they were doing Taylor Swift wrote this song for such and such sign, and the Speak Now Taylor Swift wrote such and such song for Scorpio, which is my sign, was Last Kiss. So Last Kiss kind of a little bit special to me. Also the concept of a last kiss. I love this song. It's so sad. The koi guitar, the iconic koi guitar is here for Last Kiss. I loved this performance so much. It's exactly what you would want to see from seeing this song live. The surprise song that we got for this show was Drops of Jupiter, which again, a surprise song that is not her own through me. I still don't understand necessarily why we're playing songs from other artists. At this point, her catalog was getting quite big, so she would have had a lot of songs to play. Plus, at this point, she was also playing songs that were like not on these tours, but she was playing on littler shows, songs that she'd written around this time but hadn't released. So wouldn't it have been fun if she had played an unreleased song? Like, a lot of people know that Sparks Fly was written like at debut time, wasn't it? People loved hearing her perform it so much live that they were like, put it on a fucking album, and then she did, and now it's on Speak Now. So she could have been doing stuff like that. I don't know. It just seems so weird to me for her to be playing other people's songs. I guess other people do that. Her storytelling is impressive to me. Her performance is impressive to me. I don't need her to play someone else's song for me to be impressed. I want her to tell me a story. I don't want to... Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I just have a funny feeling about it. It's still good. I just have a funny feeling about it. And it feels a bit... I don't know. I don't know how I feel. Don't know how to express myself about this. It was still fun at the end of the day, but it's just not for me. Next up, we have You Belong With Me. You Belong With Me was so fun. I kind of wished, though, that she was back at the main stage for this one. I feel like by this time, we've kind of exhausted the usefulness of this golden tree setting. It is very beautiful, don't get me wrong, but I definitely think we've like overstayed our welcome in the set. My prayers were answered. She was on the move for this song. She has really great stage presence for this song. She's been performing it for a long time now, so I guess that makes sense. Then, crazy transition, we have Dear John. This was the song out of everything that I'd seen on this show that I had actually properly seen a full clip of the performance for. I was most excited to see this song in the context of the whole show. I think everyone on planet Earth has seen the photos of her at the steps singing this song. It's really iconic. This performance really for the show. This is it, guys. I love the sparkly moon on the back screens. She has so much sass in the second verse. The mic arm is back. She's definitely leaning into that move like she was in Fearless. It would be, I seen it all now, the chuck. Oh. You know when you whip your head back like so furiously when you're singing Dear John that you knock your crown off? Don't let a man ever knock your crown off, girl. She is sitting down, so I will forgive the lack of movement here. And then fireworks. Oh my god. This is the most beautiful performance ever. Everyone that got to watch this was blessed. I implore you, pause this video now, go and search Dear John Speak Now tour performance and just watch it all. This is a formative experience. And next up, we have Enchanted. This was so stunning and beautiful. It was like a fairy tale. It felt like Beauty and the Beast, the way that everything was set up. I loved her interactions with the dancers. It really was magic. I don't know how to say it any other way. This felt like magic. Her singing in the bridge. I'll think about this for the rest of my life. The next song is a fan favorite, Haunted. The transition to Haunted is unmatched. New outfit. Speak Now, Belle. I can't believe what I just saw. I love the dress in this. The whole kind of ripped, like really kind of goth, emo kind of style dress. It's everything to me. I desperately want to do this as a costume. This is so cool. The dancers in the bells, that was wow, wild. The dancers dancing are exactly how the song makes me feel. Like, it's a perfect performance for this song. I can't stress it enough. Just yumping around all over the stage. Yeah. That's how I feel when I'm singing this song. Every time I hear this song, I just want to throw my body around. And then in the bell at the end, icon. And then after the hype of Haunted, we have Long Live. The transition to the black dress under the bell, I was so losing my mind. Oh my god. This guitar looks like the Fearless Tour guitar, but maybe bigger sparkles. The singing with Paul and Long Live. Oh my god. Paul didn't seem as active on this tour as he was on the Fearless tour, I found. We've seen a lot more of Amos and Grant in this, not as much as Paul. Just something I've noted. It might also just be in the editing of this video. For the encore, like I said, we have 15 and Love Story. 15, we got a costume change. Gorgeous. And a set change. This is so gorgeous. She just looks like an angel. And she's smiling so much when she's singing this song. It's like her heart's just on fire. It's so precious. Love Story is just the perfect ending. I know it's not a Speak Now song, but it is just the perfect ending to this kind of storybook fairy tale show. The set really works for it. And the raised balcony, oh my God. She's up like Glinda. This is such an upgrade from the Fearless tour. Like, they can definitely afford a bigger and better budget, bigger things, brighter things. It's very exciting, and it was just a delight. I think my favorite song on this tour was actually Haunted. That's not a controversial opinion. I know that a lot of people like this performance of Haunted. Getting to see Haunted performed live, as iconic as it is, that really was the most special thing. So I feel very privileged. For this show, she had 8 costumes. That includes having a costume underneath and on top. She had 8 like proper solid costumes, which is a lot. I loved the costumes of this. Everything fit really well. I was really surprised with the costume for Haunted. It fits so well, but it's like not something that we normally see Taylor in, so I was shocked by it. It was very theatrical. This whole show was theatrical. This set design was definitely my favorite of the tours that I have seen, and for this, at this stage, I'm only including Fearless, Speak Now, Reputation, and Eras for this video. That's all I've seen canonically, right? I loved the bird cage. I loved the ornate railing on the stairs. I loved the bridge. It just was used so well throughout the whole show. The stage design and the choreography and the direction, it just was all perfect. The way that it was organized was perfect. So some fun facts. Adelaide on the tour again. I really can't stress how much of a big deal this is. A large artist going to Adelaide is truly a really big deal. It's something that we never see. An artist that is going to Adelaide that was a huge surprise to me and everyone in Adelaide is Hosier, that's coming in November this year. It's a big deal to have an artist, a big artist coming here, knowing that in Adelaide we don't really have that many big venues for people to perform at. We have a lot of mid-sized venues. Pretty much the main place for people to go is the entertainment center. But now there's also a stadium that would have capacity to host some larger performances. So, you know, maybe there'll be even bigger shows for us. Adelaide, don't worry about it. But yes, this was definitely going to be my most special tour to watch. I had a true blast watching this. She was incredible on this. This is going to be something that I think about forever. I'm probably going to add this to my list of comfort watches that whenever I need to pick me up, I'm just going to put on the Speak Now tour. This was so special, and I hope that it was just as special for you. Let's get into Red. Welcome to the Red Tour. I was trying to look for something in my wardrobe that kind of fit with this era, and then I saw this little dress that is all circus themed, and I was like, well, we know what Taylor dresses up as in the Red Tour. So that's the vibe. The Red Tour toured from March 13th, 2013 to June 12th, 2014. There was 86 shows, 1,700,000 attendees, and made $150,200,000. And in 2024, that would be $185,670,304. Wow! The set list included State of Grace, Holy Ground, Red, You Belong With Me, The Lucky One, Mean, Stay, 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 22, Everything Is Changed, Begin Again, Sparks Fly, I Knew You Were Trouble, All Too Well, Love Story, Treacherous, and our encore song, We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together. Just a few set list notes. After the show on July 19th of 2013, Stay 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 was removed from the show, with it only being played one more time in August. On September 21st, 2013, Everything Has Changed was removed from the set list. After the show on December 14th, 2013, Begin Again was removed from the set list, and during the London shows, a 60s remix of You Belong With Me was performed. And after the show on February 11th, 2014, Treacherous was removed from the set list due to the stage reduction. What do I think of the set list? Just upon first glance, I think State of Grace is the perfect way to open up this album. I mean, it's the song that opens the album, isn't it? And it's just a fun way to introduce everyone to the themes of the whole album. I think it's the perfect song. So I have really high hopes for this opening. An important thing to note, especially given our previous tours that we've covered, all of the surprise songs in the Red tour were her own songs. There were no surprise songs that were other artists' songs. There was still mashups with other artists' music, but the surprise songs were hers. So finally she's got a catalogue big enough that she can change to a song of her own for this tour, which is a huge win, because previously I wasn't jiving with it. You all saw my reactions. I wasn't jiving with it. So... But anyway, now that we've had a quick peek, let's get into it. God. Now, I don't know how many shows had this level of technical difficulty. The version of the show that I watched was one that you can find on YouTube that has the in-ear mix. It has the metronome beats and all that, which is really interesting. I love watching that. I saw someone put that up for the Eras tour as well. But there was either something wrong with the mix, or it was something wrong with the performance on stage, where her band was playing in a different key. It's not even the whole band. It was like some of the, I think it was the guitarists were off key, and the other music was all in the correct key. And because she was taking cues from other artists, she started in the wrong key and then went into the right key, eventually found the right key for State of Grace. So yeah, I don't know if that happened in other locations, but it definitely left a really bad impression upon first watch of this. I know it can't be fixed. I just hope that this wasn't a common issue, but I did hear that there were a number of technical difficulties on this tour, but I hope that one didn't happen again and wasn't such a terrible... It was really bad, guys. It was really bad. As far as her popping up into her big reveal in this tour, I'm not sure that I loved the silhouette, her singing behind the silhouette. I know that had I been there, I would be very excited seeing it. So it's hard to watch these videos and know how excited you'd be, and being there changes a lot as well, like how you perceive the tour. But I kind of think I would have much rather her pop up from the stage, similar to how we see in Fearless. The Fearless opening left a little to be desired. The Speak Now opening, certainly the Reputation tour, and we'll see it later, the Eras tour. But yeah, it's not my favorite in terms of openings. It's not as punchy as it could be, especially for an album that is so tied to Taylor. The outfit as well is not really giving anything. It's certainly not giving tour outfit. It's definitely iconic red, so it's definitely on theme in that kind of capacity, but it's not... Especially compared to previous tours where she has gone kind of all out with the costumes. And there's still things that she could go all out with this album. I don't know. To me, there could have been an extra step up, even just to make something more sparkly. It would have been more exciting to me. From the looks of the rest of the video, she never really recovers from that error in the sound and singing off key, which is a shame. That's totally fine. You know, there's still room to improve going forward from here. The next song up was Holy Ground, and her vocal control was really different in this song. I think it probably didn't help that I was watching a bit of a dud of a show, but you could kind of keep seeing her trying to just move past it. She's very professional, right? And she does a very good job of making it seem like she's not... Like, we all know Taylor, right? We all know that she hates when she slips up. she is a perfectionist through and through. Like everything she does is to perfection. Even though you can kind of see inside she's hurting from the mistake, she does pull herself up, but you can see that like it's in the back of her head like, fuck. And if I'm being completely honest, because like I said, I don't know if I just have a really dud recording, but she sounded pretty bad here. And the only reason I'm saying pretty bad is I've seen her on Fearless where she had less vocal training, and I saw her on Speak Now. This is like a step down. She's really pitchy, and I saw a bunch of comments saying that she had a lot of trouble with her breath control, her vocal control, and yep, just being a bit pitchy on this tour. So maybe it's not just my recording. If you went to this tour, let me know, I suppose. As far as her stage presence though, she is commanding the stage. And, you know, even though there's that in the back of her head, like, I fucked up, she's giving. She's like really performing. The level of performance here is like leagues above the previous tours, which is amazing. Obviously, all you want to do is improve and progress the years and years that you keep doing this. And she is really giving that. Just a bit of a bummer about the recording. The next song up is Red. I adore the glittery red guitar that she has for this. Oh my god, it's such a vibe. I also love the huge red flags that are in the background of this song. All the dancers are waving. It's so funny. And this performance is really where it picks up for me. It's definitely like she's finally found her comfy spot. Red is fantastic. I adored this. I also really loved the broadcast at the end of this. This was so special. There were so many cool parts of the Red tour, that all these little details, and like you see it now on her more recent tours, but having not seen this before, you can really appreciate all of the kind of multimedia elements of the tour, having all the little recordings, the little broadcasts, the little clips and things like that she plays. It was really fun. So the next song up is The Lucky One. This outfit was amazing. I'm dead on the floor. I also love the stage for this. They really make use of the levels of the stage. I thought that this stage design was pretty interesting and fun. It felt very theater, which matches the album as well. Less theater than Speak Now was, but definitely still giving theater. Probably my favorite part about this performance is the story that they're telling with the dancers. Taylor does this really well, and we've seen it in previous tours, where she really uses the dancers to her advantage. And in this tour, it's no different. We can really see the story of the song through the dance. It's just so fun. I love this song so much. Okay, so the next song, my beloved Mean. I love when we get to revisit songs from the previous albums in these tours. She picks really fun songs from the previous albums to showcase, and this was like one of the ones with the first costume change that we had on this tour. I loved her performance. It was an interesting way of showing this song. She had a little chest on stage and she came out in a little banjo. The skirt that she's wearing around, it looks like it's a tearaway skirt, and I was wondering if we were going to get a tearaway moment, but I don't think we ended up getting that necessarily with this performance. The foot stomping, it's just so fun. I love this song so much. Like in the other songs that we'd seen before, bar Red and The Lucky One, she was getting a little bit pitchy here, maybe because it was more focusing on her and the instrument rather than the whole production, which is why we might have been able to hear it over the other songs. A little bit unfortunate, a little bit challenging with the breath control. I'm sure if you were in the audience, you probably didn't hear it quite as bad as the recording that I watched, so 22. Shh. Taylor was pitchy.
It feels like a perfect night for breakfast at midnight. Yeah.
I don't know what to say. This whole tour is like this. I'm so sorry. This can someone find me a really good recording of this? I want to appreciate this tour, but this recording is so bad. It's so bad. She's pitchy all over the place. I really don't know what's happening in the show. It's giving me such a bad impression. And like I said, I think that this tour would have been so fun. There's so many elements of this tour that I really like. I mean, the main thing that we're here for is Taylor. And unfortunately in this recording, or at least this show, it was just like she was completely out of breath. Like she had exerted herself too much. And knowing what we know a little bit from this era, Red to 1989 era, we know that she was struggling a little bit with performing and things like that, just because of stuff that was going on in the background that I don't really want to bring up, because it's one of those things you don't want to bring up people's like past traumas, where it's not your place to talk about it. But knowing that those things were happening in the background does give us a little bit of context for maybe why we're seeing her be pitchy, her being breathy and things like that. Certainly not an issue anymore. It's something to think about. There was a costume change in this song. Another outfit that I thought was a little bit plain, but it makes sense. And she's brave, man. She's going through the crowd again. It's like she doesn't know how popular she is sometimes. When I look at these videos, I'm like, girl, you are about to die going through this crowd. I know that they have a walkway for them to go through. They even do it as late as the Reputation tour. I don't understand how she was doing this for so long. So the first of the surprise songs was Mine. Another Speak Now. I'm freaking out. It was acoustic. The funniest part about this though, and she's done this since this, is she doesn't know the lyrics in the bridge. At least she sounded a lot better in these stripped back acoustic surprise songs. Maybe it's because she's sitting and she's not having to be so active on the stage. It sounded a lot better than the previous songs on the tour, at least so far. So something to think about. The next song up was You Belong With Me, which was also acoustic in the same area of the stage. Her chats in this kind of part of the tour feel really natural. It makes it so fun. She feels really personable. I really appreciate it. I want to talk about stuff like that because that's a huge part of her selling point. People make fun of her for not being a super strong dancer and things like that and going like, you're paying $350 for this, although not this tour, but later. People don't go see Taylor Swift because they want to see her dance. They see Taylor Swift because they have a personal connection with her. And she's giving that on the tour. So if you ever wondered why people want to go to these shows, that's a huge part of why. She loves interacting with the crowd. You can just tell she's having so much fun every time she interacts with the crowd. And even if it's something that, like, you know, all of these chats are pre-written, have been said at every show, but she makes it feel like it's the first time that she said it. And that really is a talent. The next song is Sparks Fly. We got so many Speak Now songs on this. I truly was living. Her voice sounded really good here. Much better control of her voice. The song also suddenly changed timing partway through. I really don't know what happened on this tour. There's so many things about the tour that I'm just so confused about. What were we doing? Next up, we had I Knew You Were Trouble. The opening of this with the violin was so beautiful. It was so beautiful. And dubstep. Okay, Skrillex. The outfit change, massive dress. It's definitely going to be ripped off. Like, you can just, there's some outfits that you're like, okay, I know that's going to be taken off. And of course, the dress did come off. Beautiful bodysuit underneath. Oh my god. I'll be thinking about this for a long time. I really can't believe we got a dubstep version of this song for the tour. I love when she changes things up for the tour versions. It's so fun. It keeps it so fresh. You don't go in knowing exactly what's going to happen. So it's amazing. I do feel like the tone of the concert is really picking up here. It's starting to feel really good at this point, which is sad because it is coming to the end, but it is picking up and it's feeling really good. Coming to the end of the tour, next up we have All Too Well. The red piano that she plays this on is so beautiful. And it looks like there's like a gear that's going around in it. The design of this instrument is really fun. I know that for tours, they don't actually have like a grand piano or anything like they show. It's normally a keyboard that's sitting inside the shell of a grand piano or a upright piano, whatever she's using. But just for the sake of not having to tune a piano all the time, they just have a keyboard that's sitting inside. So that might explain why there's a big gear inside and why there's room for that. There's something definitely spinning inside there, which is so fun and crazy. The costume change to this beautiful black lacy dress. Take my breath away. It's like the precursor to like something a Blank Space dress would look like, the music video for Blank Space. And also, tell me this doesn't sound like Champagne Problems. I know it's in the same key, but there was like a split second that I wasn't paying attention and I went, it was at this moment that she started writing Champagne Problems. I'm also so all 10 well pilled that I genuinely thought that the 10-minute version stuff was going to happen. And then when it did it, I was like, wait a minute. Next up, we have Love Story. Love Story is one of those songs that has been on every tour so far. And I'm pretty sure it's going to keep being on every tour. Here it is again. New outfit. White dress, beautiful. It's so sparkly and flowy. I love it so much. It actually reminds me a lot of my formal dress that I wore, of a blue version of it. But I love this kind of style of dress. This was very popular at the time, so it feels very fitting compared to the other tours versions of this song. And I'm thinking, Fearless, obviously the album that it comes on. Speak Now. This performance isn't as epic. The Speak Now performance of Love Story was way more epic than Fearless, and certainly now Red is leaving a little bit to be desired, but you can't really make it be the focal point of every show, so I kind of understand why it wasn't as epic. But after having just seen it in Speak Now, going to Red is a bit like, but she was eating. I won't lie to you, she was still eating. And then for the encore, we have We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together. I loved everything at the start of this song, the little circus moments, everyone dressed in their little costumes. It was so fun. It's so fun that they do something just for one song. Like, they made such a big moment of this. I know that they had the time, you know, when the curtain goes down, when they do the pretend, like, this is the end of the show, and then they come back up for the encore. They put a lot of work into this final part, which is so fun. Compared to what we had seen previously in the tour, where it felt like everything was a little bit lackluster in terms of costuming, they really geared it up for the last song. So that's really exciting for me. It ends on a super high note for me. The last costume change, of course, is the infamous ringleader uniform. I can't talk about this normally. It is so hot. If I hadn't already had a queer awakening far before this would have been it. I can't even explain it. And I don't want to have to explain it to my therapist, because what does this mean for me? But she looks so good here. There's something about this that is so... Be still my beating heart. Tell me I'm wrong. Or don't. Tell me I'm right, actually. I think my ego needs you to tell me I'm right. This was by far the best. I was so excited the whole time this song was playing. I do wonder, though, what is the correlation between this song and Circus? Because I know what the music video looks like for this. And it's everyone dancing in her room and shit. Can someone who's a little bit more knowledgeable on this tell me what the fuck's going on? So that was the concert. Definitely not the best. But might be the worst. It was okay. If I was there and I'd bought tickets, I would have been having a good time. I would have had a party. We would have all been jumping around and having a really nice time. But yeah, she was pitchy and it was really hard to watch in those ways. I obviously, if I was there, could have forgiven the outfits as well. The only reason I have these criticisms is because we've seen her do things differently before. We've seen her do things differently later on. Me, like Taylor Swift herself, holds her to a really high standard because we've seen such amazing things from her. And I don't want this to be like this is not so great in like comparison to her other work, not compared to other artists. It's still leagues above other things that I've seen, don't get me wrong. So for some final stats, she had 8 costume changes in this tour, which is a lot. Honestly, for the amount of time that she did a lot of songs just in one outfit and not like tearaway outfits too. So that's a pretty big deal. Yeah, I really loved some of the outfits on here, like especially toward the end of the show. That's when she was really giving outfits. There were definitely some lackluster fits from her. I've seen alternate looks in terms of like the little baby tee and the shorts, and they're all kind of just mid to me. It's definitely that era though, you know, the really tight fitting baby tee and high-waisted shorts. That's just what people wore then, but you know, that's what I would wear walking down the street, not on a tour. So that's the only reason why I would probably give the costumes overall a little bit of a lesser grade if I was grading these. I thought that her conversations with the crowd were immaculate. She had a really good vibe with the audience. She speaks from the heart. And I think if it wasn't her and it was someone else speaking like her, it would be taken disingenuously maybe, because what she's saying is a little bit like, you know, I'm 12 and this is deep, but you know that she's being genuine with it. So it does make it seem genuine, you know? It's hard to explain. So I really liked that on this tour. I thought that overall her stage presence was way better on this tour. Every time she's improving. Little fun fact, Adelaide's still on the tour list with Guy Sebastian as the opening act. What the hell? Guy Sebastian, who came out of my church. Guy, do not lie and say that you started in Hillsong. You fucking started in Paradise Community Church. Don't lie. No one wants to say they were from Hillsong first. Be real with me. Oh, to be alive at a time where Guy Sebastian is opening for Taylor Swift. That's insane to me. I'm really excited to move on from this tour, but I had a lot of fun here. I do love this album very much. It is a shame that the show maybe wasn't so much to my liking, but I'm sure that there's other people who are going to be like, this was my favorite tour ever and I had such a good time. And good, that's what you should have. So yes, please don't take my criticisms to heart if you enjoyed this tour. It's just my experience with the recording that I had. So This is the only tour that we don't have a proper recording for, so please forgive me. I did the best with what I could. Thank you very much. Welcome to the 1989 World Tour. I can't believe that we're finally here. You know, I love this era, but this tour is really iconic. And I mean that in not only the tour itself, but the notorious tour video. This one, especially right now, it's kind of having a resurgence online, especially with the Eras Tour movie having now come out. People are editing the Eras Tour movie in the style of the 1989 tour, so it's kind of on everyone's mind right now. The 1989 tour ran from May 5th, 2015 to December 12th, 2015. So quite a short run, actually. There were 85 shows, 2,280,000 attendees, and made 250,700,000 gross, or in 2024, $309,512,256. The set list included Welcome to New York, New Romantics, Blank Space, I Knew You Were Trouble, I Wish You Would, How You Get the Girl, I Know Places, All You Had to Do Was Stay, You Were in Love, Clean, Love Story, Style, This Love, Bad Blood, We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together, Enchanted, mashed up with Wildest Dreams, Out of the Woods, and an encore of Shake It Off. Before sitting down and watching the tour movie, I was really surprised that Wonderland wasn't on there. Given how creative we had seen Taylor be in some of the staging in the Red Tour, yeah, I'm surprised. There's definitely some things that I could see her doing. Maybe it wasn't as popular then as it maybe is now. By the way, elephant in the room, yeah, I did straighten my hair for this set, so yeah, I wanted it to be like the straight hair that she has in the 1989 tour. This took me like an hour, bro, so you have to like it. It doesn't suit my face at all. I used to do this in high school every day. There's something nostalgic about it, especially the dress and the shirt that I'm wearing. This is like exactly what I would wear 10 years ago. Actually, when this tour came out. Welcome to New York being the opener, that's literally the most perfect thing ever. Both Reputation and 1989 have the kind of the best album openers and best tour openers. So it makes sense that both of those tours ended up having their first song on the album be the one that opened the tour with. This song might be the greatest opener of all time. Let that sink in. Sound off in the comments. Alrighty, so let's just get into it, I think. Welcome to New York. I'm being so serious right now. When I heard the first parts of this song, the Welcome to New York, I nearly flopped dead. I'm trying not to be dramatic about this, but my whole body had tingles, and I'd have given anything to have not been in abject poverty to have been able to see this tour. I was so excited seeing this opening, seeing this tour start. I'd have given anything to have changed my circumstances to have been there. What an amazing start to the show. And if I can be so totally honest with you right now, when I was watching this in this room by myself, no makeup, I was crying because I was so excited and I got so emotional. It was just like me watching the Eras Tour live. I'm really embarrassing. I also will say the time of the month that it was happening during the filming of all of this, yeah, that might have impacted some of my reactions. Yeah, I'm willing to admit that. But I think even if it hadn't been that time, I would still be pretty excited about this in a way that would have been emotional. This album is so special to me. This song is my favorite song on the album. That was really hard to admit because I'm like, am I 100% sure about this when I'm saying this? Yeah. This is my favorite song on the album. So it's just the perfect way to begin the tour. What can I say? The stage is full of park chairs for all the dancers to like do silly little dances on. It's also really hype. And there's like lights, like lampposts and stuff that, you know, setting up New York. It's so fun and creative. She is so cute. And I am just in tears watching this. I also thought at this part of the tour that her makeup looked really cool. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. But her makeup in the shots that I was seeing looked really vibrant and looked like she had purple going on there or like a magenta kind of shimmering color. So I felt like she was doing something a bit more than just her standard kind of plain brown eye and then a bright red lip kind of situation. Next up we have New Romantics. This song is just perfectly performed. This also could have been a really good opening song. It's just so hype and so fun. She has such an energy and she's really commanding the stage in this song. Her stage presence at this point is just elite. She had perfected her stage presence by this point for sure. Like I'd been saying, up until this point, she had been like leaps and bounds above the previous tours. And right now I feel like she's at a point where it's like she's peaked and she's maintaining that level of professionalism. And I think if you think about, we'll see in Reputation and Eras Tour later, but I do think like this is kind of her peak of stage presence and it is perfection. It's like watching a god move around in the world with you. She's sitting on the bench now. Where are we going? Where are we taking her? Also, the talking.
Well, good evening, Sydney. I'm Taylor.
She's so cute. Shut up. Hi, Taylor.
There's one thing you should know about me before we begin. I was born in 1989.
The next song up is Blank Space. I love the way that this is staged. I love how all the screens have like silhouettes of men's faces, kind of reminiscent of the music video with the house full of paintings of men on the walls, but also like kind of nodding to all the men that she had supposedly dated, like it was any more than a normal person had dated by her age. It also reminded me of Look What You Made Me Do in the Eras Tour, with just the kind of many people on stage being figures in her life. I did also make a note that we've only seen male dancers at this stage of the tour. I don't know if there are female dancers around. I know that there are female singers, but I've only seen her interact with men on the stage, which is, it feels, I mean, in Blank Space, I suppose it could thematically make sense, but it's interesting, especially when seeing in the other tours there's been a mix of genders, and in this tour it's seeming like just men. I'm not sure what the reasoning behind that is, but I thought that was interesting, especially given what we've seen of her previously. Her voice sounds amazing in this song. Her vocal control is pretty even throughout the song as well. It's got really nice tone and she's hitting all the notes. Like, what more could you ask for?
All right, Sydney, I'd like to try a little experiment. Are you up for it?
Sydney! My favorite Taylor meme. I'm seeing it live. You have no idea how excited I was to see this. I was absolutely losing my mind watching this, and if I was there, I think I probably would have had to have been taken away. Also, it's so fun that this tour, I don't know why, I didn't think that the tour movie was Sydney. I just knew that performance, that Sydney, iconic thing, was in Sydney, obviously. But I didn't know it was from the movie. I thought it was just a clip that it was going around online. But like thinking back to when I saw that video, yeah, it was professionally shot. Of course. Of course it was from the movie. It's so fun that Sydney was the location for the filming of this. And it was also at the stadium that I saw her at the Eras Tour. It was ANZ Stadium at that point, and now it's the Accor Stadium. So yeah, fun fact. Oh my God, a fun fact before the fun fact section. Just a little treat from me to you. The loop pedal stuff in this is a really fun way to mix up playing this song live. I thought it was a really interesting way of doing it. And it's just fun. It's easy to do. It's easy to set up prior to performing, obviously. I Knew You Were Trouble is next, and there is a costume change. The way that this song sounds is so sinister and sexy. I was so shocked when I was watching this. This was nothing like what I was expecting of the performance. It kind of feels a bit more like how you might expect Miley Cyrus to perform. Like, it's that very gritty and sexy kind of performance. This version sounds so good. I need Taylor to bring this version back. It is this might have changed me as a person. I really love this. It really elevated the song. It was just such a fun performance, a fun way of like changing things up. And I think that if you were really attached to the way the normal song sounds, you would not at all be upset with kind of losing hearing that live and hearing this instead. Like, this is just so fun. Also, I thought that this was kind of giving Fire Emblem Three Houses. Like, I'm on the battlefield and this is the music I'm hearing. Lady Edelgard is sweeping her axe around, ready to behead Dimitri Fire Emblem, and we are all Hubert in the background, clapping our little hands, just happy to be there. The next song up is I Wish You Would. Oh my god. They really kicked up the editing in the movie version of this tour for this song. It is so fucking funny. It's unrelated to the actual tour itself, but like if you're going to go back and watch the movie now, it really kicks up here. I don't know how they didn't laugh when they were watching this. It's so much. They were having the most fun that they could have. I did think at this point that the stage felt a little bit restrictive. There's a ramp that she can walk down. So it is like a long line, but it is a bit raised. It does feel like her only moves so far really are to play around at the back kind of main bit of the stage or to run up and down the length of the stage. So she's either interacting with whatever's going on at the back of the stage. For this, it's like a light up stairs situation that she sits on and climbs up and things like that. But then they've got this whole strip of runway that she can run up and down, but she can't really do too much. Like when comparing it to the Eras Tour set, something that makes the Eras Tour set so good is that they've got that kind of diamond in the middle where she can use those edges to sing to the crowd on that side. So that's my only critique of this stage so far from what we've seen is that, it doesn't feel like she has a lot of opportunity to kind of sing toward the crowd on those edges. She does at the front, she does at the back, obviously. But that strip of runway isn't really doing a lot. Next up, we have How You Get the Girl. Oh, this has to be one of my favorite performances on this tour. The light up umbrellas are so cute and fun. I love also the stage has like these little steps. The screen on each of the steps has the kind of droplets of rain coming down. So it really looks like it's raining on the stage. That little illusion is so fun. We also have a costume change in this song. It's this really cute pink two-piece kind of dress. So we had a kind of strappy version, and there's also a kind of like this neckline of the dress. The choreography in this is really, really cute. It's very reminiscent of like Singing in the Rain kind of dance. I love that her dress lights up. I love how they play with turning the lights like all the way down in certain parts of the song so that when she's dancing, you can only see the dress and the umbrellas kind of dancing around. It's just fun. They're like getting really creative with this tour. I do wonder though if it would have been really confusing if you were like at the back or in the nosebleeds and you're just seeing this like little little dress dancing around. Next up we have I Know Places. The doors on the stage. The dancers all have sparkly masks on. Honestly, it's a little bit terrifying. The reveal of Taylor through the doors was so iconic, and iconic outfit alert. If I had the body oddy that Taylor has, I would have worn this to the Eras Tour in a second. Oh my god. It's so fun and cute. She really looks like she's having so much fun in this song. Is she an airbender? What the fuck? She flipped some of the dancers. Hello, Aang. I also love how they changed the live version of this song in the kind of the end chorus part, keeping it fresh. Like I say, I do really like when they change it up. Next up, we have All You Had to Do Was Stay. She's singing on the ground. She sounds so good. Also, Taylor dancing on the chair, giving vigilante shit. Oh my god, and Paul. We haven't really seen much of the band in this tour. It's been very heavily her and the dancers, so finally seeing some of the band is so nice after all this time. Next up we have You're in Love. The guitar! Oh my god. I am so excited for this. Oh my god though. Taylor is levitating. I actually can't believe the production of this show. You know, all of the things that I was saying about how the stage felt restrictive, I guess we understand why now. It's because the stage fucking comes up and is like in the air. Could you imagine being right at the front of the stage and being like, yeah, I've got such good tickets. And then all of a sudden she is raised in the air. It's like, oh, okay. This production has just been really impressive to me. I love the new echo unlock. Her teaching us, I can hear it in the silence, 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 silence. Ooh, you can see it on the way home, way home, way home, way home. Ooh. Oh my god, it was so fun. I love when she is teaching us the echoes. Also, makeup update. I'm pretty sure that what I thought was a really colorful eye look was just super oversaturation. Because this video, like I said, has really crazy editing, and I think that they pumped up the saturation as well. So it looked like she had this like really bright magenta eye, but it wasn't until we had those close-up shots where she's at the front of the stage doing more intimate songs, You're in Love, and then the next couple of songs. You can see her eyes pretty clearly, and they're like super plain. She also has this really cool, like, it looks like an icy blue wing, like the 1989 blue under her black winged liner. So that's fun, and that actually is something that's happening with her makeup. But yeah, thanks editing, you've struck again. The next song we have is Clean. Clean. I really love this song so much, so it was so exciting getting to this part of the tour. I could not believe that they were turning the stage. So not only have they raised the top bit, but now they're fucking turning it, pivoting it. What are they doing? Hello? Oh my god. I was thinking by this point, why is she still at the end of the stage for this? It was fun. And obviously you don't want to do it just for one song, have her be levitating, although they do it for Love Story all the time. It felt like they could have done a little bit more here, or like done something a little bit creative with the dances or something like that, just so that it wasn't just this, because it was a spectacle what was happening with the stage. But yeah, I don't know, it kind of felt a little bit like lacking, like there definitely could have been a little something. Maybe it was part of it being on the video and not being there. Maybe there was something that I wasn't seeing, but yeah. If this is an alternative to her running through the crowd, then I'm happy she's doing this instead of that, because that was freaking me out, as you all know. I'll take this. She's too famous to be running through the crowd. So at this point, I'll take it. And like I mentioned before, something that's always had an interesting levitating experience, Love Story, we're finally here. There's a keyboard on this stage that I didn't see before. This is such a different Love Story. I love how she performed this. It was like if she had released Love Story in 1989. Like, that's the kind of vibe that it felt like. It gives it such a new life. I really appreciated it. If you haven't heard it, I definitely think you should go in and have a quick listen to it, because it's really interesting and fun. Next up, we have Style. Costume change. Woo, woo. Woo, woo. I love this so much. Oh my god, it is so, so, so beautiful. Oh, I'm being so serious. This performance was like a religious experience. And also the dancers have Heelys. And it's everything to me. Next up we have This Love. I didn't write too much about this, but I did think that the performance for this was fun. It was fun having the singers all come out onto that runway that she has, and they all kind of face in opposite directions, and then partway through they swap, and yeah, it was a really beautiful performance. But get ready to ramp it back up, because next we have Bad Blood. Fighting is happening. Go off, sis. I love the new outfit. It's kind of a catsuit moment. Now, I'm not a huge fan of Bad Blood. I was kind of hoping that this live performance would change my opinion on the song, kind of like how Look What You Made Me Do in the Reputation tour changed my mind on the song. But I think that this song is just maybe not for me. I like it in a sense, but it's not something that I'm ever going to reach for actively. I'm never like, yeah, I'm in the mood for Bad Blood. Like, don't get me wrong, I'll still sing it like my life depends on it. I certainly did that at the Eras tour. It wasn't a standout for me on the tour, and it's not a standout for me outside the tour. Next up, we have We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together. We have an electric guitar, and ooh, this is so sexy. Oh my god. I'm being so serious. This is the second time that I'm going to be saying this, and funnily enough, it's for the same song. But if I hadn't already had a queer awakening, this song would have done it for me. What are you doing to me, girl? Like... Taylor, Mamma Mia. I think that this is one that my therapist would understand a little bit more. The ringleader may be a little harder for me to validate the feelings for, but yeah. Next up, we have a mashup of Enchanted and Wildest Dreams. I thought it was interesting that instead of getting the full of Wildest Dreams, we got a mashup with Enchanted. I love Enchanted. Give me a Speak Now song and I will eat it all up. But yeah, I did think that it was an interesting choice to not give Wildest Dreams its moment, especially because it is such a popular song. This dress that she wears feels like the precursor to the Eras Tour mold dress, which I'm a fan of. I love you. You will always be iconic. The piano for this is such an interesting design. I can't really make much sense of it other than it's like an upright piano, except there's no upright bit, and then it's kind of like iron curving. I don't know how to explain it. It kind of is like iron curving like smoke, but it's like tendrils of smoke. What's it meant to be? It's so pretty. I really love Wildest Dreams just on the piano. It is so special. Also, oh my god, she rips off the like skirt of this dress and reveals a bodysuit underneath. I hate to say it, it's giving Cats. I looked up the alternate version of this outfit and I think that it fits the song a little bit better, but they are both visually interesting. I'd love to know what people's opinions are. Which bodysuit do you think that you would prefer to have had at your show? Both of them are quite interesting. I think a lot of the outfits on this tour have been pretty interesting so far. Next up, we have Out of the Woods. Like I was saying in the previous song, I think that the alternate outfit that she would have worn would have suited this song in particular as the follow-up song much better. I love the graphics for this song. It's so perfect. Her dance moves for this are also making me laugh, but they are so perfect as well. She's just being herself and she's just having fun. 2 paper airplanes flying. Oh my god. I can't believe we've got the little airplanes flying around the stage. It's so cute. Now, for our encore, we have Shake It Off. And for our encore, we also have a, say it with me, costume change. For this song, we have the iconic 2-piece outfit that is what inspired the Eras Tour outfit. And in this show, we have a blue outfit that is giving Cookie Monster. It's all I could think. I was like, oh, me want cookie. Hum, hum, hum. I love all of the dancers coming out and oh my god, the stage is elevating again and turning. When I first saw this, I was like, why have we got harnesses coming out? What's happening? The whole stage, it's not only pivoting, it's turning, the whole thing. It's so crazy. If I had been on the floor, I would have been petrified this thing going up. I don't know why. Is this something that I need to talk about with my therapist? I feel like I keep bringing up all these things that terrify me that she does. Oh my god, I'm getting crushed today. That's just something that's going to happen today. Wow, this was such a fun performance. Shake It Off is always a banger. It always will be a banger. It's always going to be a showstopper. And literally it was because it was the last song. Now we're at the end of the tour. Let's have a little bit of a wrap up of this tour. There were 8 costumes in this tour, all of them so beautiful. I think this might be my favorite tour for costumes. I think nearly every one of them was like a knockout for me. The only one that I maybe didn't love so much was that cat suit. Out of the Woods, Wildest Dreams. It was still pretty. It just wasn't so for me. It was because I was thinking of cats. I really liked the stage for this, although I did think that it had limitations. I liked that it spun around. I do think maybe it would have been fun if they had played with that a little earlier. Not a huge issue, and I'm sure that if you were there, you wouldn't have thought that. So it's almost like I'm looking for something to nitpick, but it is such a small criticism overall. The tour movie was really focused on showing all of the really cool guests that she had come on. One thing that I really liked hearing about in the tour movie was how she really emphasized making the guest artists' performance like theirs, like that they could design how they were going to have their section of the tour. She wanted to make them feel as comfortable as possible, like they weren't coming into her space, but she was like inviting them to inject some of them into the concert, so like it felt like them. And every one of the like snippets that we see of those tours, they just look so fun. But one thing that really stood out to me about it was that Pitbull was one of the people that guested on there. It's like my worlds are colliding. I don't know if you know this. If you have me on Discord, you'll see that my Discord description for the last year or two has been Pipple's #1 fan. It's a little too long to explain that, but that was really wild to me. But it was, yeah, definitely a fun learning experience. Overall, I really enjoyed this tour. I thought her level of professionalism was outstanding. She showed such star power throughout the whole thing. It was just so clear that her talent and showmanship had gotten to such an extraordinarily professional level that she was just at the top of her game the whole time. So this was really a delight to watch, and I'm really excited to move on to now 2 tours that I've seen and have a little chat with you about them. So thank you so much. Welcome to the Reputation Stadium Tour.
And welcome to the Reputation Stadium Tour.
We're finally here. One of my favorite tours of all time, one of my favorite albums of all time. Guys, I'm so excited right now. Yes, we're still out in the lounge room. Fingers crossed this is the last one. I've had to film this over so many days. If you want to guess which order I filmed these tours in, leave that in the comments. All right, so Reputation Stadium Tour started on May 8th, 2018 and went until November 21st, 2018. There were 53 shows, 2,939,000 attendees, 345,700,000 gross, or in 2024, 402,873,841 dollary dues. What a tour. On the set list for this tour, Ready for It, I Did Something Bad, Gorgeous, Style, Love Story, You Belong With Me, Mashup, Look What You Made Me Do, Endgame, King of My Heart, Delicate, Shake It Off with Camila Cabello and Charlie XCX, Dancing With Our Hands Tied, A Surprise Song, Blank Space, Dress, Bad Blood and Should Have Said No mashup, Don't Blame Me, Long Live and New Year's Day mashup, Getaway Car, Call It What You Want, and We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together, and This Is Why We Can't Have Nice Things mashup. So Ready for It is the perfect opener, obviously. It may be the most perfect opener she's ever made. Perfect place to put this song in the tour. I've said this before and I'll say it again. Yeah, this could be the best #1 song that she has ever made. It's a huge claim, and I think I might now be brave enough to actually say that. Now, before I get into each performance of each song, I want to give my thoughts on the intro to this tour. Now, I think everyone and their mum knows about this, but for those of you who were under a rock when this tour came out, when this album was happening, Taylor did something very interesting on this tour, and in the time that she was kind of away from the world or being over scrutinized by the media and things like that, she kind of collected all of those things that people said and she turned it into the intro of her tour.
Taylor Swift is in hot water again. Taylor Swift is on top of the world, but has she done some sketchy things to get there?
Taylor voluntarily bringing attention to herself with her donation.
A fun part about that is she actually invited a bunch of the journalists who were saying nasty things to the tour. They graciously accepted. And the first thing that they got to hear was them bad-mouthing her at the start of her tour. I would be sat. You know what I mean? I would be sat the fuck down. That is one of the most iconic things that I've ever heard someone do. It has kind of such guts to use someone's own words against them in that kind of way. It's extremely embarrassing. If you didn't know about that, now you know. If you want to see it, definitely have a look at all those nasty things that people said. The first song on the tour is Ready for It. I've seen this tour so many times. I said that, I think, at the beginning, and it doesn't matter how many times I watch this, the intro makes me cry with excitement every time.
Are you ready for it?
Just hearing transitions from them saying reputation, reputation, reputation to the bomb, bomb, bomb. I'm going to look back at this and be like, I love the stage for this. I love that it's like an X across the stage. They make use of this really well in the show, and it's just interesting. I don't think you see many like X-shaped stages, especially not in the formation that they have it. I love how many dancers are out on the stage and how they use the dancers. I love the outfit that she wears for this so much. The iconic black sparkly little bodysuit and the hood, kind of referencing the Ready For It music video. Very beautiful. Next up, I did something bad. The choreography in this song is so good. It's so hype. This whole song is so hype. Her laugh! I love how theatrical this performance is. Her voice. She's so sassy. I love her so much. This tour really has sass amped up to like a million, like way more than you ever thought it could be. Her voice sounds really, really good in this song. You can obviously hear her breathing still, but it's really controlled and very intentional. And it just shows how much she's grown as a singer, grown as a performer. Really, really impressive. Next up is Gorgeous. She is just having silly, goofy fun. She's just having the best time. She is so cute. The way that she kind of acts out the conversation of this song throughout the performance. The dancers and the singers that are with her are so cute. I love all of their outfits. They're so on point. It's fun and interesting without looking like they're being completely dampened out, if you know what I mean. Like often dancers' uniforms are super toned down so that you focus on the main event, the singer, but they have really interesting and intricate outfits still going around with her without it competing with her, which is really cool. And that's something that I've kind of noticed over the whole of her tours, is that something she does really well is making them look special without it taking away from her being the focus. But this song is pretty standard, nothing out of the ordinary. It's just classic fun. There's no real like live performance differences in this song. Here we fucking go, lads. The Style, Love Story, and You Belong With Me mashup is truly iconic. This is the first throwback song. All of the lighting and graphics at the back of the stage are really reminiscent of the 1989 tour for the Style portion of this, which is so fun. And it's something that, having now seen the 1989 tour, I can now appreciate. It's something that when I watched the stadium tour before, I never really knew the reference to it. It's something that maybe slipped my mind. I didn't pay much attention to it, but now that I have seen the 1989 tour, seeing this reference on the Reputation tour, I get it. I'm one of the girls that get it. It's something that could so easily go unnoticed, but yeah. The transition to Love Story is so cute and fun too. I love how she uses this as a way to introduce her band. Seeing Amos and Paul running out, it's so cute and they're so excited to play. I kind of love also that this mashup of all the three songs, instead of giving them a kind of dedicated slot in the set list, it's just giving a little taste of the song. It's not giving the whole song, because at this stage on every single tour, we've heard her play You Belong With Me and Love Story. Style, obviously we only got on 1989. I wonder if there's a point where artists just go, do we still need to add that one? Are we still filling the set list with that one? I wonder if Taylor has that kind of feeling about those songs now that she's played them so many times. Probably not, honestly, but it's something I think about. But it was nice that it was that snippet, because it is a nod to her previous work. It is something there for the people that have been there and enjoyed that music for that long, but it's not alienating for the people that just started listening in the Reputation era, which I know there's a significant amount of people that were in that situation by that time. I'm really impressed. I think it's a good compromise as well. Also, the transition to You Belong With Me, seamless. I'm actually so impressed with how they fit it into the show. It's so nice. Next up, the most iconic song to ever be an iconic song, honestly. Look What You Made Me Do. This is the performance that made me change my mind about this album. By the time I was watching this tour, I already had some interest, but it wasn't until I heard this performance of Look What You Made Me Do, which I'm admitting, when I first heard Look What You Made Me Do, back when it came out, I didn't like it. I thought it was so cool, and then the chorus happened and I was like, wow, what a letdown. Especially because at that time, a lot of artists were doing this kind of thing. Another artist that I can think of that did this, that was in my sphere at that time, was Big Bang. Amps up going from verse to pre-chorus, and then the chorus is slow, and it's whiplash. And that's how this song kind of felt for me until I saw this performance. This performance adds so much to Look What You Made Me Do. It adds a like rock element to it, which Taylor's kind of famous for doing on these tours at this point. I just love it. There's also a costume change. Also, I cannot believe the stage for this song. It's so frightening. The little stage that they kind of wobble throughout the performance. I really don't know how she doesn't just fall off of that thing. It's so terrifying. I know that there are literally people there moving it, and they're moving it slowly, but still, because there's no restraints for her on there, it's terrifying. She just jumps on it and jumps off it, and I don't know how she's doing it. The phone call in this, so fun. Karen in this, so fun. For those who don't know, Karen is the snake. That's what the fans call the snake, so... I realize I'm saying things and maybe not everyone knows them. Also, I noticed in my Fearless, I was going like this for like the whole time, just flipping you guys off. I'm trying to be good. I'm also trying to roll down my page of notes, so I'm sorry. Sometimes I just gotta flip you off by accident. Maybe you deserve it. You know? There will be no explanation. There will only be reputation. I love the performance of this live. I love what it adds to the chorus especially. Next up we have Endgame. Big reputation. Big reputation. Ooh, you and me got big reputations. The hair throw and stanky leg move that she does in this is so iconic. The like, ooh, you and me a big conversation. I hope that was all in frame. I was just kind of going for it. It's so iconic. I also love that the omission of Future and Ed Sheeran's part doesn't feel crazy. She adds bits to it that kind of still make it work live just by herself, which is nice. I'm always impressed by how they kind of amend those things live. She's really creative with it, and it doesn't feel like it's lacking. But yeah, it does kind of make me think, like, I wonder how they're going to do this on the Reputation Taylor's version. Like, are they coming back? I know that Ed would come back. Is Future coming back? We'll see. Next up, we have King of My Heart. Oh, whoa. The jacket portion of the outfit that she was wearing in the previous songs has been removed to reveal a bodysuit that is effectively the exact same pattern underneath, which is so funny. I love the big drums that are on stage in this. The whole song is just essentially a beat. So seeing it live with all these shirtless men thrashing around on the drums. Yeah, that's the King of My Heart over there, if you know what I'm saying. The aesthetic of this song and kind of this part, since Look What You Made Me Do, feels very 24 Karat Magic tour, the Bruno Mars tour, the gold and black. It's also kind of giving, I just bought the penthouse in GTA 5. She jumps on that little stage again, and this time it's terrifying. This time I don't know how she doesn't fall off. Get down! Next up we have Delicate. New outfit, rainbow bodysuit dress kind of thing. I think it's actually a dress, but I always wonder how they keep the dress down when they're dancing around. So it must be shorts in there at some point, but they're like kind of just big enough that it's hidden. I got to admit, I don't love this outfit. I love the cut on her, but I don't love the colors. I like the shimmering droplet effects on the dress. I just maybe don't think the colors suit her, or maybe I just don't think that the rainbow, the way it is, suits her. I'm trying to think if I've seen her in something similar that I have liked. I think maybe if it was in colors that suited her a little bit better, maybe I would like it a little bit more, but it is fun. It's just not like super flattering. Okay, anyway, she's up. She's Glinda. She's floating across the stage. It's another one of those love story moments where she's just going around. This was the first time I'd ever seen her do this. So when I watched it in those previous tours, I was like, oh, that's where it came from. It's kind of nice to see it happening again. The platform that's lifting her up and taking her across the crowd is this like beautiful little like kind of fairy light cage that's taking her across. It's very cute and pretty and delicate, actually. Wow. It's feeling very Wizard of Oz up in here. When she makes it to that little stage across the crowd, she sings Shake It Off with Camila Cabello and Charlie XCX, which is an iconic performance. I think it's so fun to have both of them singing along with her for this. It really feels like a party on that little stage. The little stage is also very crowded. It is little, but it's very crowded. There's a lot of dancers, and with all of them on there, there's a lot going on. Next up is maybe one of the most iconic performances that Taylor has ever done. Dancing with Our Hands Tied acoustic version.
Oh, 25 years old. Oh, how were you to know when?
I think for a lot of people, this song was one of those that, you know, they listen to, they enjoy, but I don't know many people that thought it was their favorite song prior to hearing this. And then when they heard this version, acoustic, oh my God, is it a beautiful song. It's the same thing that you can say on a lot of songs on Lover, that when it's just stripped down and it's just her and a guitar singing her little heart out, magic happens.
Yeah, we were dancing with our hands tied, hands tied.
I loved everyone screaming, I'm a mess, but the mess that you wanted. It's so funny, everyone's screaming it, and you see her little face smiling as the crowd gets really loud at that part. The surprise song on the Reputation movie is So It Goes. It's fun to have a surprise song that's actually from the Reputation album. I'm surprised it didn't make it onto the set list, to be honest. Her voice sounds really good here. She has really good control, consistent tone throughout, and a lot of character. It's a fun little performance. She sounds really good. Another surprise, All Too Well. I won't lie to you, even here, we're at Reputation, we haven't even gotten close to Red Taylor's version. The announcement for all that stuff hadn't even begun happening yet, and I'm here thinking that I'm about to hear All Too Well, despite how many times I've watched this, and no, it's not happening. I'm literally just so used to hearing it at this point that I'm like, there's more. This song will always be famous. It's so heartbreaking. It's so powerful and beautiful. I love it. I love hearing it every time. So she sings it with such emotion every time. It's the best. Still on the little stage, we're up to Blank Space. The jacket is off, revealing that beautiful black and red bodysuit that's underneath. This song, don't even get me started. It's so fun and it feels so intimate singing to the stalls and all the crowd that's below. Also, something that I never noticed before when I was watching is at the back on the main stage, all the screens that are capturing her performance and then putting it up on the screen. All of the edits are 1989 themed as well. Again, it's something that I only know now because I've seen the tour and I've seen the tour video. It's something that I'd never seen before. It was so interesting now watching and knowing that context again. I'm paying attention. I'm seeing the effort. Yeah. The next song is Dress. And now, I would say a little commotion for the dress if the dress was dressing. But the line that comes to mind to me is I only wore this dress so I could take it off, because this dress is giving just nothing. To me, this is giving a mix of Grecian and grandma. So yeah, if you will. It is just so unflattering in the chest area. It's super floaty and like chiffon, but there's so much baggage around her like boobs. So it just makes her look like she has like saggy, flat tits. The lyrics in this song, listening to them now, are so sad, knowing where Taylor is kind of in the story of her life. But it is a very beautiful song and a very beautiful performance nonetheless. Regardless of those little things that I have to say, she's always perfect in her performances in this. So yeah, now we're up to another really iconic part of this tour, Bad Blood and Should Have Said No. First of all, she leaves the little stage in a snake bone cage little platform. Wow. She's Glinda flying again, but this time she's metal. It's so shaky though. Watching her fly across the crowd and go, and maybe now we got bad blood. Like, okay, can somebody please put her down? Taylor, put your feet on the ground. There's so many parts of this that I'm like, I know they tested this rigorously, but could one more test have been worth it? Like, I love when she does land though. She kind of goes to the back of the stage where we've kind of just seen it as the back screen of the stage. The like top half lifts up and it reveals a lot of the band that have been playing behind it. And she starts singing across with the dancers and like singing with the band members. It's so fun. And then as soon as Should Have Said No starts, Oh my God, it's so fun. There's no twang though. It's gone. The twang is gone, people. I repeat, the twang is gone. Terrible loss for us all. Again, I'm questioning, debut TV, will you have twang or won't you? Be not afraid, Taylor, of adding the twang. I think the people want it. Don't blame me. My favorite Reputation song is next. We have a one-legged military fit here. It is so beautiful. She is so beautiful in this. This song is so epic. All the dancers, they look like they are like fashion acolytes. So everyone's going to church. I love how they made the back screen into like church windows for this as well. It's just a religious experience. What can I say? I had a great time singing and dancing with the Lord. Next up, in the same outfit, we have Long Live and New Year's Day mashup, which is on the piano. This is a really beautiful performance. I noticed when I was listening to it, I think that they play Long Live in a different key because I believe that Long Live is in G major and New Year's Day is in C major, which they're very easily interchangeable keys. But I do believe it was transposed because it doesn't sound quite like regular Long Live.
I said, remember this moment. I said, remember this moment.
The transition to New Year's Day, though, while she's still singing Long Live, is so fun. As soon as you hear the dun 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 dun, you're like, it's happening! I love that she marries the confetti falls to the ground line from Long Live to the there's glitter on the floor after the party line. Yeah, that's everything to me. So I believe right then is where the curtain falls after those songs. And for the encore section, we have Getaway Car. Getaway Car out in a new outfit that is very reminiscent now of the man outfits for the Eras tour. It's like seeing this, I was like, oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
I love the outfit so much, goes without saying. It's like a mauve business jacket that's all sparkly. And then underneath she's wearing it's like a purple, super beaded and sequined dress. Bodysuit, question mark? It's another one that's kind of like the delicate one. The song is so good and I will always mourn that it wasn't in the Eras tour set list. So it's just nice seeing it here. She has so much fun with it. The only thing is I don't understand why it wasn't the last song, like the closing song, because this would have been the perfect, could you imagine? I was riding in a getaway car, and she's like, yeah, like say thank you to the band. Getaway car said goodbye in a getaway car. Can you see the vision? Up next is Call It What You Want. A fountain in the background. Okay. This isn't the first time Taylor has had an aquatic experience on the stage, but seeing her climb on top of it made me nervous. She is wearing boots. I'm glad she's wearing boots now. They're grippy, they're comfy for the last part of the songs, but I'm terrified watching this performance. The whole time I'm just like, Taylor, get down. All of the dancers are back out for this. The stage is, again, really full. And it's so nice. And thinking as I was rewatching this, that this performance kind of feels to me like a visual representation of how being in love feels. Like all these people walking around you, all these things happening in life that are moving around. But if you're with the right person, it just feels like there's just you and that person. Do you know what I mean? And so it's really nice seeing that in a kind of visual storytelling form. So it's very special. I think it maybe goes underappreciated, but it is very special. I do wonder though why this song was included and not So It Goes. There probably could have been, it could have been either one in the set list, but I do think if it were me, I would have put So It Goes here. And then finally, we have We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together mashup with This Is Why We Can't Have Nice Things. Class, can I get a show of hands? How many people think I'm going to have another queer awakening? Everyone's hands are up. I'm a bit predictable at this point. Yes, you're all correct. Well done. Gold stars to literally all of you. Yeah, I don't know what it is about her performing this song live, but every time I'm like, my eyes are like, hello? Oh my god. I don't understand what it is. What awoke this in me? Did this happen the first time I watched this? It was definitely not like it was on, oh my god, on the 1989 tour or on the Red tour, but it was definitely still like, do you know what I mean? Probably not. This might be one for my therapist. The transition into This Is Why We Can't Have Nice Things, super fun, by the way. Not awkward at all. The choreography is so fun in this song. And unfortunately, yes, she is back on the fountain. She is really stressing me out on this fountain. Also, it's really like restricting her movements. You can see her trying to like jump and stuff, but because it's wet, you know, it's a bit dangerous. So she's not like giving it her all. So I wonder if there was another way maybe that they could have done this. It still would have been pretty and beautiful, but maybe less dangerous. And that, my friends, is the end of the tour. Yes! We had 6 outfits for this tour, so less than the previous tours. We did have a lot more outfits over outfits kind of thing in this, so you could argue that there was more outfits than I've said here. They were all very beautiful and they all fit really well. I'm really impressed by them. My favorite one is probably gonna be the surprise song outfits, which is the green jacket and the red bodysuit underneath. It's just, that is really iconic for a Reputation. I know that the beginning bodysuit also is, but that one to me, when I think about Reputation, that's the kind of outfit that I think of. And so fun facts for this tour, like I've said before, the fun facts section is mostly a fun fact to me section. For this fun fact, this was the tour that made me a Swiftie, is my fun fact. So, not what you were thinking, huh? I've said this before, I liked Taylor back in the Fearless era. I liked her music, I was a fan, but I wasn't a Swiftie. I was a step back, I was a casual fan. I knew the lyrics to her songs, or just her top songs really, and that's about it. And then when this tour came out, I went full blown. I got to know everything about everything. I got to find out the theories that are happening about everything. I'm watching every music video and learning. I'm learning about, you know, everything. I'm watching Swiftie YouTubers. Hey girl, Ali Sheehan and Nina Shelby. And obviously, yeah, tons of Swiftie media was delving in after this. So this tour is always going to be really special to me because it was that kind of turning point in my life in becoming a Swiftie. So yeah, let's move on to the Eras tour. Yeah. Welcome to the Eras tour.
Welcome to the Eras Tour.
Yeah. We're finally here. I've been talking about this tour throughout the whole video and we're finally here. I can finally shut up. I can finally actually talk about the tour that brought us all here. So the Eras tour, the greatest tour of all time, the most successful, highest grossing tour, most ambitious tour to date. Wow. To be a part of history right now as a Taylor Swift fan. We've done it. The Eras tour started on March 17th, 2023 and is still running. It is set at this stage to continue until the end of 2024. There so far are 151 shows. As of December 2023, there are 4,350,000 attendees and has made, as of December 2023, $1,263,762. And like that number's only going to get bigger after this year. Wow. The set list for the Eras tour is long. This show goes for 3.5 hours if you didn't already know, and it is a showcase of the 10 albums that Taylor had brought out up until this point. Until next month anyway. The set list includes Miss Americana and the Heartbreak Prince, Cruel Summer, The Man, You Need to Calm Down, Lover, The Archer, Fearless, You Belong With Me, Love Story, 'Tis the Damn Season, Willow, Marjorie, Champagne Problems, Tolerate It, Ready for It, Delicate, Don't Blame Me, Look What You Made Me Do, Enchanted, Long Live, 22, We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together, I Knew You Were Trouble, All Too Well 10-minute version, The One, Betty, Last Great American Dynasty, August, Illicit Affairs, My Tears Ricochet, Cardigan, Style, Blank Space, Shake It Off, Wildest Dreams, Bad Blood, Surprise Song on acoustic guitar, Surprise Song on piano, Lavender Haze, Antihero, Midnight Rain, Vigilante Shit, Bejeweled, Mastermind, and Karma. Whoa. I feel like I ran a marathon. If you have been following the tour since the beginning, you'll have noticed that the first song of Folklore changed from Invisible String to The One. We all have speculated that since the end of her relationship with Yogurt Boy, that was the catalyst for the change to The One. The One is a perfect thematic way to start the set list. It is also the start of the Folklore album, so it makes complete sense, the change there. But I've just got to say, Taylor Swift, that is my favorite song that you've taken away from me. I'll forgive you one day, but give that one back to me. Give that one back to me. By the way, I didn't even say, this outfit is actually the catalyst for me even starting to talk about the Eras tour. It is the reason that I made my what to wear to the Eras tour video. I remember when I bought this dress, it's actually a navy blue. It looks quite black on the camera. It's a navy blue, and I remember when I picked it up, I was like, ooh, Midnights. As you do. That's why I'm wearing this dress. It isn't what I wore to the Eras tour. I already wore that in the Speak Now section, but I thought that this was the perfect next best thing to wear. I am sad about how small the Speak Now section is, but I do have to be happy that it is even there, as there is no debut songs, as you might have seen. Didn't even feature. Got no concert, got no tour, got no songs in Eras tour. Rough. I do like how the sections that she already toured are typically much shorter sections, bar Red, which has a whole 10-minute song included in it. But yeah, so this tour essentially is like a recap for those who knew the songs from the previous tours, and then is like a catch-up for all of the tours that would have been happening if it weren't for COVID. Although, if it weren't for COVID, we might not have gotten Folklore or Evermore, so who knows. I also love that we are getting All Too Well 10-minute version for the first time in a tour. This was a song that was brought out for the fans because they were begging for her to actually record it and release it. So it's really nice that she's performing it for them. It's just a really nice happy marriage of those things. And I've got some other thoughts about the set list, but we'll get to them as we kind of go through the tour set by set. So now, because this tour is so long, it is a 3.5 hour show, I'm not going to be breaking up my commentary of it like I have when I've reviewed kind of the previous tours. I am going to be talking about them in each era, so Lover, Evermore, and so on. I'm not going to be talking about them per song, just to try and keep things flowing as quickly as possible, because this is going to be a long one. Okay, are you ready? Let's go. Lover. Much like the start of many of the other iconic tours, I cried watching the opening of this. I cried when I watched it in cinema for the first time when I didn't know that we were going to be seeing this live. I cried when I watched it live. Yeah, there's something so magical about the beginning of this tour because it is a showcase and kind of love letter to all of the eras. It's so fun that the intro has a kind of mashup of all of the things that she said on each of the tours. I was born in 1989, fearless, you know, like all these little things. It's so iconic. And then having it blend into Miss Americana and the Heartbreak Prince.
It's been a long time coming, but
Oh, what a way to open. I love the dancers' little fan things that come around the stage. It's so beautiful. Also, I have seen a dress that is pretty much identical to the pattern that's on those fans. And yes, I will be buying it. Anthropology, I am looking at you and I will be buying that dress. Thank you. I also like that Miss Americana is the first song that kind of starts this show because it is a little bit of an underrated song on the Lover album. So it's nice that it's getting some of the spotlight. Cruel Summer is so fun. One of the most iconic moments in this tour for sure. I love that during the bridge, she kind of stops the song to introduce like, yes, this is like a really fun part of the song and I'd love to hear you all sing it with me. And then the whole crowd is just screaming, I'm drunk in the back of the car and I cry like a baby coming home from the bar. Oh, it's so good. I also love that if you weren't following the tour actively from the very beginning, if you were just going in and you were watching the show fresh for the first time at your show, you didn't know that she was going to stop the song. So, and there's like always someone who didn't follow the show, which no shame. The internet makes us all see too much of each other. There's always one person who you can hear go, I'm drunk. When no one's singing it, it's so funny. One of the most iconic bridges of all time. I'm sorry, Sydney Harbour Bridge. You are second to the Cruel Summer Bridge at this stage. The Man is so cleverly performed. I think there are some things that we see in it that you can kind of take for granted because you're watching Taylor as she's performing, obviously. But if you pay attention to the dancers and how they're dancing up this effectively a physical corporate ladder, you see that when she starts on the bottom, there are a lot of women and men that are dancing together. And then slowly as she climbs the corporate ladder to the top, there are less and less women coming up with her, which is the point of the song, that like that women are not given the same opportunities, that if I was a man, you'd take me more seriously. If I was a man, I'd be ambitious and methodical, but if a woman does it, it's calculated and manipulative, like all these kinds of things. I love the visual storytelling for this song. It's perfect. It's a really nice kind of nod to the previous tours that she did a lot of this kind of storytelling for. Fearless. The song selection for the Fearless set is perfect, I think. You're kind of getting the best ofs of that album, and this whole section just feels like childlike wonder. It's full of nostalgia. I love that the stage is lit up at the bottom to show like a little guitar. All of the iconic things that you would expect from this part of the tour happen. The heart hands, the spinning while she's playing the guitar to Fearless. It's just so beautiful and nostalgic. It's just magic. I love this. It's like awakening something in your inner child. This part of the tour is really so special. Next up we have Evermore. Starting with 'Tis the Damn Season is so crazy and is also for some reason not on either of the Eras Tour videos. Why wasn't it included? Can someone tell me? Anyone that has a little bit more knowledge or read something that I didn't get to see, why wasn't it included on the tour movie? My favorite part of the set is definitely Willow. I love the trees that come out, as well as the trees that are on the back screen at the stage. I love the way that the dancers are all cloaked and they have these little golden orbs that they throw in the air. It's just like the music video. It's so special, and the kind of theatrical part where she's in the middle and they're all dancing around her. It's so beautiful. Marjorie. The first time that I saw this, when I saw this in the cinema when we didn't know if we were going to be seeing it live, I had completely forgotten that Marjorie was on the set list. When the first few notes of that song start, tingles all over my body, and I was like, oh no. And I just was profusely crying in the middle of a gold class cinema. This song is so special. For those who don't know, this song is about Taylor's late grandmother, and every time I hear it, I think about my own grandmother and the things that I wish that I could say to her and the things that I wish that I kept. Even bringing this up right now is making me cry, but the things that I wish that I kept, things I wish I asked her. It's such a special song. It will always be special to me, and getting to see it live was crazy. I remember coaching myself before I actually went to see it on tour. I was playing it. I was like trying to desensitize myself to it. I was playing it over and over again to try and like stop myself from getting emotional. I was like, I got to the final day just before going to see it, and I was like, I think I just have to disassociate and pretend it's not happening for me to stop crying. But it's okay. Sydney weather gave us something very special, and during this song it actually started raining, so whether I cried or I didn't, it didn't matter. My makeup was already running. So thank you so much to the heavens that gave me a little gift. I like to think that it was my nana saying, it's okay, you can cry. Uh-oh, I made myself sad. Moving quickly along. I also really want to talk about Tolerate It. I love how this song is presented. It starts off really slow after coming from the mossy piano from Champagne Problems. She comes and starts setting up a table and like setting it out with wine and a little vase, the cutlery and plates, and the visual storytelling of her partner coming to sit at the table and just not being receptive to the things that she's done, and she's trying to talk to him and he's just not giving her the time of day. It's the way that it's done is very powerful and I love it so much. Also, the dancer that she performs this with is so good looking. I also love that kind of more recently she's been pairing herself with people of color. It's something that I talk about a lot in private, but not something that I necessarily talk about a lot in video, but it's something that I appreciate because it's something that she doesn't necessarily need to do, but highlighting people of color and giving them the spotlight with her. I just really like seeing it, and I like getting to see it on the tour too. It's really nice. Reputation, the absolute fucking whiplash, by the way, of going from Tolerate It to Ready For It. There is not a greater mismatch than those two. A fantastic set list for Reputation. I really couldn't be asking for much more than this. Delicate's performance is so beautiful. I love how they really use the diamond in the center of the stage for her to not only sing to the crowd, but to do her little stomps in the song, stomps on each of the kind of corners of the diamond until eventually she comes and smashes the stage. It's really so pretty. I love the visuals of that. The transition from Don't Blame Me to Look What You Made Me Do is maybe the most beautiful transition that I've ever heard.
Don't blame me for what you made me.
If Don't Blame Me wasn't already a religious experience, this transition definitely is. I remember when we were watching the Eras Tour Taylor's version, the most recent one that's come out now, when I was watching it the other weekend, Don't Blame Me comes on and I'm just like, I'm ready for church. Both of those songs are so fun on this tour as well. She's so sassy and sexy in this section of the tour. I also love in Look What You Made Me Do, all of the dancers being the different versions of her, like it is in the Look What You Made Me Do music video, and she's like interacting with them, fighting with them in these display cabinets. It's really cool. The way that they did it is very impressive. Next up we have Speak Now. Speak Now being so short is really a crime. I think I've said this before in a video, but there was a while that I was saying at any minor inconvenience, just kill them. Like, you know, let's say, you know, my partner won't do this for me. And so I would react, just kill them. And when we got to the Eras tour, I was swapping friendship bracelets with another girl who was wearing a Speak Now dress. And she's giving me a bracelet and she goes, well, you know who really hates Speak Now? And I was like, ooh, who? Kill them. And then she looks at me dead in the eye and is like, I was talking about Taylor. And I was like, oh my God, I need to stop with that joke. I do like that after the Speak Now Taylor's version announcement, we did get Long Live as a permanent song in the set list. Thank God. If it was just Enchanted, this section really would have been criminally short, especially with how beautiful all of the dresses are in the Speak Now section. I know a lot of people complain in the Eras Tour movie that the dress that she chose for this was that cupcake dress that she wears. I really like that dress. It wasn't the dress that we got on our tour. I think the one that we got on our tour is actually my favorite. It was still a really short section. I think I would have really liked to have heard Story of Us or Sparks Fly on the set list. Even Haunted would have been really fun, but I know that that song definitely would have been too high energy. All the songs that I just said probably would have been too high energy, just given that this show is a 3.5 hour show, and I'm sure that by the time she gets to Speak Now, she's like, oh, thank God. I just need to belt this out. I don't need to move around too much. Like, there must be something good about being able to kind of just have that little bit of rest. Also, Long Live, so special. I've been bringing them up this whole time, so it's only fair to bring them up again. Seeing her band all come out and perform this song, just like how it was on previous tours, it's so beautiful. It's really special, especially going back and comparing this performance to the Speak Now tour. Yeah, what a special moment. I feel very privileged to have all the context going into it and having an appreciation for these moments now. I think if you don't have them, they maybe don't seem as special. Like, not to throw my partner under the bus, but, you know, he was like, oh, I don't understand the hype about Long Live. Like, the song's fine, but it's like, why are people so like, wow, yes, when it's playing? I'm like, well, it has so much history and it's so special because of this. So I think Long Live is really for the, like, the true fans, kind of. So maybe I understand why it's a little bit alienating for some people, but yeah. After Speak Now, we have Red. This set is often dubbed the kind of casual fans set. Like for anyone who bought a ticket because they like Taylor Swift, but they're not a super fan, but they just wanted to be there because they thought it would be a good time or, you know, whatever, they got roped into going. This set is really for them. It's got all the hits. Now, I will say, before seeing this show myself, I was a bit disappointed in this part of the tour. I kind of wish there was a State of Grace on there. I wish that there was Babe. I wish that there was The Very First Night. You know, we've had a Red tour before, so I can't be too picky about this set list, but I will say that by the time I got there, I actually had a really good time, like a much better time with this set than I was expecting. I've obviously seen this set also performed like a bunch of times when I've been watching the live streams, so I am very familiar with the set. There is nothing better in the world than seeing the 22 performance where at the end of it Taylor is giving the 22 hat to a kid in the audience. That is so special every time you see it. No matter how many times you see it, it's always special, especially seeing the kid's face. Oh my god, it just makes you want to cry. I Knew You Were Trouble, so fun. Just makes me think of doing the Just Dance dance. Did I have a queer awakening watching We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together? No. Is that shocking for anyone? I think it's because at this point, she's no longer wearing the t-shirt, the 22 t-shirt, and the red jumpsuit to me, I don't love so much. And I think by this point, it kind of feels like a watered down version of Red. I think had it had a little bit more going on, maybe it would have had that same feeling like the 1989 tour, like the Red tour, like the Reputation tour. But yeah, because this was kind of a bit more of a milder experience, maybe that's why I wasn't so like about it. But yeah, just as an update, I didn't have a queer awakening from this one. I don't have to go to my therapist about this. Next up is Folklore. My beloved Folklore, my favorite album of all time. The stage for this is really impressive. Every time I think about how they bring out the Folklore cabin in this part of the tour, I just wonder what the marvel of the backstage looks like. Having this have to slot in there among the willow trees, among the man set, all the other things that are just kind of Jenga-ing in the behind the scenes. That part is so impressive to me. I really am begging for them to bring out a behind the scenes of the Eras tour because I gotta know what that backstage looked like. Even though I mourn the loss of Invisible String being the opener to this section of the tour and being in the set list at all, I do think that The One is a fantastic song and I am really glad that we got it. It's a great song. The opener of the album. Ones are my favorite songs and The One is a great one. So I'm very satisfied with this being in there. Now, one of the kind of controversial songs among fans at this point in the tour is Betty. I think a lot of people have suggested that if they were to amend the set list in any way, they would definitely swap out Betty for a different Folklore song. I totally understand this, and to a certain degree, I kind of agree. I really like Betty. In fact, I love Betty. I also think that it was really important to have all three of the Love Triangle songs be performed for the Folklore set, just because that is really the focal point of the album, so it makes the most sense for her to have played every single one of them. But I would like to know that if you were to amend the Folklore section, what song would you change Betty for? Because I think if I had to make that decision and I had to remove it and change it for a different song, I might pick something like This Is Me Trying or Mad Woman maybe, but only because I really like those songs, not necessarily because I think they fit better there or anything like that. This Is Me Trying, I do think is a little bit of a crime that it's not in there, because it's such a good song. Like I've said and shown before, it's the back of my phone. The Last Great American Dynasty is maybe one of the most beautiful performances ever. I love that we get to watch the story of the song, Rebecca Harkness and the house, and Taylor and how they relate to each other. I love it. I love the visual storytelling. It is just so beautifully done, especially when Taylor sings that "and then it was bought by me" line, and they kind of look at each other and acknowledge each other, and it's so cute. It's really, really well done. Next up, we have 1989. Criminal, that Welcome to New York is not on this set list. I'm not really being serious about that. Even though I love Welcome to New York, and it is, I think I did say it was my favorite song on 1989. I didn't need to hear it there, you know, it totally makes sense. Style being the first song here is so exciting to me. You know, I cried when I heard it. You know it. I do wish that it wasn't shortened, but I also understand why it was, because like I said, all of the albums that were toured all had shortened set lists, and I'm just glad that we got to hear it at all. This whole set is really fun. I'm so glad that I got to be in Sydney for this tour so that I got to do the Sydney chant in blank space. I also loved seeing Taylor's expression when she could hear everyone saying Sydney. That's something that's going to be really special, and it's not something that is immortalized in the tour videos. It's something that I'm just going to have a memory of. It was just very special. Bad Blood, as you know from how I reviewed the 1989 tour, it's not one of my favorite songs, and I am really glad that it was a shortened version of this song. However, I really like how, you know, in the music video, how there's fire and stuff and things burning. It's really epic. I do like how they incorporate that into the tour. Specifically, in the background, the fire is burning down the Lover House. Wow, very symbolic. Next up, second to last, we have the acoustic set.
Welcome to the acoustic set.
Where we have a new outfit that matches the 1989 outfit, where Taylor will play one song on the guitar and then one song on the piano. Or if you're lucky, like the Australians and then the Singaporeans, we got 4 songs, most of us. So for the surprise songs, I am going to talk about this in the context of my show, just because everyone can watch the tour movie and not everyone got to see my show. So it's kind of something unique that I get to tell you guys about. So actually, the surprise songs that I have are actually, you can't see them, but they're printed out. That little like bottom of the corner of the picture that you can see there is the picture that I have of the surprise songs on little cassette tapes. I'll leave the artist who did them in the description below. So if you would like to get your surprise songs as little cassette tapes, you can. They're actually stickers, and I just printed out the stickers into a little picture. Come as digital files, or you can get them physical. So anyway, the surprise songs that I got on the guitar were Would've, Could've, Should've, and Ivy. Oh my god, was it so special to start hearing the chords of Would've, Could've, Should've, and then hearing that deep voice come out of her. I feel so privileged to have heard that song. I really was desperate to hear Would've, Could've, Should've and Dear John. So to have gotten one of them is just, what an experience. Ivy, a surprise hit for me. I love that song. So to hear it in combination with Would've, Could've, Should've and the meanings of both of those songs, it was so special. I do feel like I won with these songs a little bit. A lot of people say, oh my god, I won. Whatever, they won. No! There's nothing better than the Eras Tour Twitter account every single night of the show posting, no! On the piano, which the piano in this show, by the way, is so beautiful. A little brown upright piano with flowers painted all over it. I got Forever and Always and Maroon. I remember when Forever and Always started playing, I was like, oh, a Fearless song. I do like Fearless, but it's just not one of my favorites. Like, I was really hoping for Speak Now. I was like begging to hear one of the Speak Now songs. So hearing Forever and Always, I was like, oh, but I think now that I have accepted the songs that we got, I'm really happy with them. Forever and Always is a great song, and of course Maroon is a great song as well. I think that my partner definitely really lucked out. I think Midnights is his favorite album. Yeah, this was really a night for him. I think he was very happy with both of those. These really are such a treat. I know that there's a lot of anxiety for people that are going to these shows saying like, oh no, what if she plays surprise songs that I don't like or I don't know, and it just kind of ruins the night for me. And while I sort of understand the thought process behind that, because, you know, there's a fear that maybe she'll play London Boy. I also think that, you know, this is something that she doesn't have to do for us. This is a 3.5-hour show. She certainly does not need to do a unique performance at every show. So it really is a gift. And I think that either way, if you love the songs or if you just like the songs or if you don't like the songs, you'll find a way to appreciate them, getting to see them live uniquely for you. So I think that we're lucky we get to see this at all. And, you know, maybe I am biased that I got songs that I really like for my surprise songs, but I think that we should all feel very lucky no matter what we get. So yeah, this section of the tour is always really fun. And you know that as soon as we were seeing the 2024 shows starting, I was watching nearly every one of these surprise songs on the live stream. So just amazing part of the show. And the last section of the tour is Midnights. Like I said, I watched nearly every one of the 2024 shows, probably around Folklore to the surprise songs, just so that I could hear the surprise songs. And as soon as the surprise songs were finished and she jumps into the stage, I pretty much turned it off. So Midnights is a section of the tour that I've technically really only seen 3 times fully. I've seen it in the cinema, I saw it live, and then I saw the Taylor's version at home. So I kind of have the least experience with this section compared to the other sections. I really love the Lavender Haze choreography for all of the dancers. I love all the props that they have. I think aesthetically this part of the tour is just bang on with the fluffy jacket and the t-shirt dress that she wears. It's the easiest look to recreate on the tour, and it is one of the most iconic and fun. So I really do love the aesthetics for this part of the tour. I will say that one of the kind of lulls in this section for me is actually Anti-Hero. It just kind of feels a little bit underwhelming compared to the other parts of the tour, which feel all really intentional. The performance that she does for this is kind of like just her going around the stage and just waving to the crowd, which that's totally fine and certainly something that artists do a lot, but it does feel like with everything else there could have just been a little bit more done. Especially it feels very lonely on the stage because it's pretty much just her and there aren't any dancers on the stage, so it's kind of just her awkwardly waving, "It's me, hi," which it's very on theme. I also feel like there could have been more there. Like, I think I really would have liked if the dancers, maybe in the background or in different parts of the stage where she wasn't, were acting out like the dinner table scene and the funeral scene and things like that, so that we kind of saw a little bit of life. She doesn't necessarily need to interact with them. Maybe she could like see them and like have them all look at her or whatever judgingly and just be like, you know, whatever, I'm better than this anyway, like it's okay, I'm the anti-hero. That I think would have been a little bit more fun for me, but still a fun part of the show. The song's great. The only song on the Midnight set list that I think that I would remove and replace is Midnight Rain. This song, I've said this in private a lot, that even though I really like this song, I think that because the album was still so new when this whole tour was happening and this set list was being prepared, she maybe didn't know what was going to be popular, what was going to be a hit with the fans so much. So she was kind of going on what she thought would be most fun to play, maybe thematically or maybe just by this point of the tour. She also obviously knew which songs she was going to turn into singles, so they were the ones that would have had a highest priority. And this song is definitely thematically really good, and it serves as a good point for her to change costume. It is kind of boring. There are other songs I would have much preferred to have seen here. Maroon or Would've, Could've, Should've I think would have been a better fit in this spot, especially given how much everyone loves both of those songs, or even You're on Your Own Kid, although I don't know how that she would have presented that song. But they're all songs that really have fan appeal, and I think it's just the nature of the album being just maybe too new going into this tour to know what to include. But yeah, that's just me. Vigilante Shit is such a performance. It is so sexy. There was someone who dressed up just as the chair that Taylor does the dance on. That really was truly an iconic outfit. I love it so much. What an incredible part of the tour. And there is really no better way to end the show than to play Karma. It is so fun. All the dancers have little tinsel jackets on, and Taylor's tinsel jackets are so beautiful. It's just so fun, and especially now that she's with Travis, getting the Karma is the guy on the Chiefs coming straight home to me. It's so great. It's so loud. There's so much energy. We've lived so many lives on this tour, huh? Now, For the outfit, there is obviously an outfit change for every era. I want to kind of count them based on not necessarily how many outfit changes she has live, but kind of, yeah, how many times she fully gets changed. And if that's the case, there's 9 costume changes, with the surprise songs being a dress that she wears over the 1989 outfit, which is crazy. And even like, obviously there's 9 proper outfit changes. There's like 15 outfit changes if you're gonna count all the things that she takes off throughout all of the different parts of the tour. There's the most outfit changes in Midnights. Very, very, very impressive. It is truly so impressive. I don't understand how she does all of this in the time that she does. Even the breaks between all of the sections are not that long, so to get her into those skin tight bodysuits every time, it must be such an operation under the stage, you know? I don't really have any fun facts for this tour because this tour is still kind of going, other than we all know that this is the biggest tour of all time, the highest grossing tour of all time at this stage. So the fun fact for me is, I guess, less of a fun fact and more of a reminder of something that happened on this tour that I think that I don't necessarily want to let it go because I can't believe that it happened. Now that we've passed the anniversary of the first performance of the Eras tour, a lot of people have been reminiscing about things that have happened on the tour, and something that I really still can't believe happened is this. My favorite part about this is the drop in her expression right after she does it. Like, she's like, oh my god, I can't believe I just did that. Being a fan at this moment and getting active updates for every show, we really have lived so many lives on this tour. This year has been the longest year of my life. What an amazing journey. Alrighty, let's wrap this video up. So now that we've seen every single tour and we've gotten to see all of the progression from the very beginning to now, current day Taylor Swift, I'd love to know what everyone thinks of her progression. If you were there at any of these tours, I'd love to know how it felt to be there. I know the Speak Now tour and the 1989 tour especially are 2 concerts that I'd give anything to have been there for. Even the Reputation Stadium tour. Unfortunately, it's like a has-been in my memory now because I've experienced it so many times. It was like I was there. But those 2, that was the first time I was ever watching those. So that was very special for me. As far as which tour I think is my favorite, I'm biased, you know. Speak Now is my current favorite album. And the Speak Now tour, aesthetically, the set, what we were given from everyone, getting to see the most of the band, getting to see a lot of fun choreography, set pieces. It was extremely theatrical. So Speak Now to me is probably my favorite of the tours. As much as it pains me to say that, knowing Reputation Stadium tour is my comfort watch. It is really so special. There's nothing like it for me. So that one's definitely my favorite. But if I had to do the terrible thing of ranking all of these tours in my personal preference, not whether I think one's better than the other, there's no doubt in my mind that the Eras tour is by far the best tour. Say what you will, opinions aside, that tour is definitely the best tour. I think we can all agree on that. If I was to rank these in my preference, I'd definitely be having Speak Now at the top, followed by the Reputation tour, then the Eras tour, 1989, Fearless, and then Red. I'm so sorry. I think if we had gotten an actual Red tour video, I probably would have a different opinion of this. I know from doing research at the Red tour, there were some things about it, not at every show, but at some shows, there was just a lot of technical difficulties. That's sad, especially because I saw a little bit of this discourse online that, like, which era is Taylor Swift's era? Like, that's quintessentially Taylor Swift. And I think Red is Taylor's era. It's a little bit sad that is my least favorite, but it's only because of those technical issues I think that it is my bottom. 1989 was such a step above the Red tour, even everything that it gave us. That's undeniable. And then, yeah, Reputation and then Eras were just leaps and bounds above every previous concert. So, yeah, it was really fun to do this, actually. I hope that everyone had a great time exploring these with me. This is something that I wanted to do just in my private time, and then I thought, oh, this actually might be fun to do with all of you. So leave in the comments if you went to any of these tours, which one of them is your favorite? And I'd love to know if you could go to any of these concerts retroactively, which one would it be? As you know, Speak Now would be the one for me. Ooh, to see Haunted in person like that, oh, that would be everything to me. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me today. I have had a blast filming this and getting dressed up and all those kinds of things. Thank you so much to my YouTube members. I really appreciate the support. You have no idea. These videos are so fun to make, and the support just touches my little soul. So thank you so much for that. So between now and the next time I see you, stay safe, stay hydrated, and I'll see you all next time.